The Donald is winning wars everywhere. We have Iran admitting that their supreme leader is dead. They need help. They're literally out of food, and it's going very badly for them. Of course, the idiots around here are still making believe that they're winning, which is very funny because they're like, no, we are losing. And they're still like, no, the Iran's winning. And the Iran is like, no, we are losing. And we don't believe you, Iran. It's very funny. Also, Canada is getting absolutely blasted by the Donald in the funniest way ever. Sorry, Canadians. Sorry, neo-Indians, very sad. All of Trump's ops are all falling apart, from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Thomas Masshole, Candace Owens, where the court literally... She is referenced in the court document saying that she's wrong about everything. It's the funniest thing in the world. Hasan gets condemned by every Democrat on the planet. He is literally going into full spaz mode, and we have women holocaust going on. We have so much to talk about. Lock in, boys and girls. Insane deep dive and all the things. Yes, my video is demonetized despite the fact that I literally put hours and hours and hours of work into every single one of these videos. And you can support me on Patreon. That's right. We do 4 videos on Patreon every week, approximately. I just did a Warhammer deep dive over there. We're covering why women don't deserve rights over there. All the good stuff is literally on Patreon. You can go there. It's awesome. That was a joke, obviously. That was obviously a joke. But lots of good stuff over there. Also, I'm live on Rumble and on Kick. Follow me and watch me there if you can. That would be awesome. If not. Ultimately, I just want you to enjoy being informed. Someone has to say this stuff, and that someone's going to be a blue cartoon on the internet. Lock in, boys and girls. Complete and utter devastation on the foreign front. A lot of people are saying that Trump is losing the war. We're losing money. Everything's going bad. You know who disagrees? Iran. Iran is saying we lost the war now. It's pretty incredible to witness. Canada is also literally floundering, begging us to take back seats. I'm sorry we were bitches to you in the past. Can you please undo all of those things? I don't know what you're talking about. And we were like, no. No, actually, we're gonna make this work, and it's gonna work for us, actually. America First is really happening, and every single PSYOP loser is completely wrong. All right, so U.S. pushes a deal to deal final economic blow to broke Iran out of mullah. They're just out of mullah, guys. They're out of mullah in Iran. It's very sad. Now, the very funny update over here is the fact that they're admitting this. All right, so on the one hand, you have people like in the United States, like CNN and Sneeko and the Muslims and all those guys. They're like, Iran is totally winning the war. What are you talking about? Iran is totally winning. And then Trump is like, no, actually, we're winning. And then Iran is like, no, Trump is right. Trump is right. We are cooked. Trump is right. And then you got this guy over here doing 6-7, talking about how little money they have left. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the gayest man in the government, had this to say. Iran's leadership is admitting what the world can now see. The pressure is working. President Masoud Pezeshkian acknowledged Iran's economic shortages, saying the war must come to an end at some point. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament speaker, even more direct. He said, no matter how much military power we have, if the people are hungry and we don't have a financial circulation, economic growth, and domestic production, we will not endure. So essentially, what we have is Trump is like, Iran is losing. Iran is like, we are losing. CNN is like, actually, Iran is winning. It's very funny to watch, actually. It's very funny. Right? You got, it's a really interesting test of people's wisdom, all right? And I think it's very funny. And I'll tell you why it's very funny. It's very funny because all of these people live in their own little bubbles and universes, right? So Myron Gaines made a 2-hour video talking about how I am wrong about the Iran war. Me, Nuxanor, blue idiot on the internet, he made a 2-hour-long video how I'm wrong about everything. Meanwhile, they are literally starving, out of money, and out of weapons. All right? I'm just pointing that out there. So anyway, the Donald had this to say. The failing Islamic Republic of Iran is not paying large segments of their military. Ooh, how will they afford their goat prostitutes while at the same time killing protesters, even when they are not protesting at levels not seen before? It is a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. It must be stopped now, President Donald J. Trump. Now, it's very interesting that the United Nations has nothing to say about this. I mean, they'll condemn us for killing terrorists. They'll condemn, Israel for killing terrorists, but they will not condemn Iran for literally slaughtering their own people in the streets. It is interesting, unless you realize that the United Nations is literally owned by China and Muslim countries. Then it's not interesting. Then it's just kind of sad. All right. I have been informed by the United States Navy that all mines have been removed or detonated from within the international waters of the Strait of Hormuz. With Scott Bessent in control, we will now call it the Gay of Hormuz. Iran has been notified that any ship or boat placing new mines will be immediately and systematically destroyed. We will be dropping Bonnie Blue into the epicenter of Tehran to give super aids to everyone. Through a Space Force, we are watching every square inch of the strait, as we are also with Pickaxe Mountain, the already destroyed 3 other nuclear sites. There is a zero-tolerance policy on mine placement in full force and effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now, again, important to note, the entire international community is utterly silent. Oh my God, Trump did a war crime by killing a terrorist pedophile that killed 2 million people in the region. Wow, no. All right, so that's on the one hand. However, they'll be silent when literally the Islamic Republic in Iran is putting mines in an international economic shipping lane. Like, what are we even doing here? Like, if they wouldn't have a double standard, they'd have no standards at all. It's truly incredible to see. Now, the reason why I am mentioning all this is not because I actually believe in international law. I don't. But that's actually why I'm talking about this. This is why international law is such a farce. International law was designed by homosexuals to manipulate and control the powerful nations. Being us, we're the powerful nations. Pay attention to this matter. All right, so that is literally what it's designed to do. It's not actually about protecting these people. All right, they don't care about the 40,000 protesters that were slaughtered in the streets of Iran. They don't care about the 1 to 2 million people in the region that were killed by this Islamic regime. They don't care about the 250,000 girls that were raped by Pakistani Muslims in England. They don't care about any of these things because they go against the narrative. All right, none of this actually matters to them at all. The only thing that matters is winning. The gaze of homos is going very well for us, and it's not going very well for them. Now, Secretary of War, patriot, by the way, this man, I will fight for this man. True patriot, we love to see him. He had this to say.
Every dollar squandered on redundancy or bureaucracy or waste, it's an insult to you, the taxpayer, and it's a theft from warfighters. This is a new department with a new focus on our core mission, where we're restoring the warrior ethos, and that means a focus, an unrelenting, uncompromising focus on lethality.
Hey,
it means no more.
I love how, like, literally the left hates that. No, we don't want our military to have the capability of killing people. And it's like, all right, dude.
DI.
Then they go sing about Charlie Kirk getting killed.
It means no more trannies, just training. It means
a lot of people got very upset at this because that word, which I cannot say on YouTube, is a slur for trans people. Now, this is funny because trans people aren't real. Just like lesbians, they're a mythological creature. They don't actually exist. However, they think they do. So, obviously, you're not allowed to say this. So, it's like, oh my God, the Secretary of Defense is casually using a slur. This country is fricked, man. Bro, cope harder, please. No, he said a slur against mentally ill people that kill themselves 42% of the time. No, it's very funny. And it's very funny, especially for multiple reasons. One is simply because I think that instead of doing this, we could simply... The Department of War has a new update. We will be giving 1 Israeli pager to every transsexual... No, I'm kidding. Obviously, that was a joke. So moving on. Sneeko had this to say. Iran is decimating the USA militarily, economically, and strategically. I love how Muslims literally think that you could just, say these things into the world and they become true. On paper, it's impossible. The smaller, poorer nation should lose to the wealthiest country in the world, wielding the strongest military of them all. Correct. But Iran has one weapon. Faith. Well, I don't know, man, because it seems like Allah is actually on the U.S.'s side here. All right, so U.S. to return diplomats to the Middle East embassies evacuated the Iran war. Bro, they are so little of a threat. We are literally returning our diplomats. We are returning our diplomats to the region. That's how little of a threat these guys are. All right, you guys out there with your goats of the night and your slingshots are not actually posing a threat here. And even better than that, Mojtaba Khamenei, this is the son of the previous supreme leader, Iran's supreme leader, is reportedly dead or in a state of brain death. Oh man, bro, the cardboard memes were right. Oh man, bro. Again, remind me how we're losing, Sneeko. All right, it's pretty entertaining to watch these people cope. It really is. It's very fun because this is after years, or months rather, of these idiots coming after me, saying that I'm pushing a false reality. I was right about everything, by the way. U.S. Navy drones identified cleared over 100 mines in the Strait of Hormuz. This should be the front page story on every single, United Nations discussion board. Literally, this should have been all of those things. All right, but obviously they don't care about terrorism when Muslims do it because it's just like, whatever, that's part of their culture. We can't okay, that's mean. Oh God, we can't insult their culture. All cultures are equal. These cultures do terrorism. These cultures do other inbreeding. Suspiciously, the same cultures do both sometimes. Now, Canada has been ripping off the United States for decades. They have been charging our farmers 400% tariffs and more. They have driven many wonderful U.S. companies out of business. For 10 years, they wouldn't certify Gulfstream jets until I got involved. They wanted 100% of the market for Gulfstream's Canadian competitor. I deal with many countries, and Canada is easily the most difficult and unreasonable. Bro is literally dealing with Iran right now, by the way. Oh, my God. Bro, we are literally... He's literally dealing with Iran, and he's like, Canada's just the worst, bro. At least the Iranians aren't homosexual. No, I'm kidding. They feel entitled, but they are not a state. They will feel entitled no longer. Now, this is going over very well for these guys. So Trump said over the last 10 years, the United States lost on average $60 billion a year with Canada, no more. And then the community note is very funny. It's like, actually, it was about $40 billion. It's not... Okay, dude, whatever you say. Very good stuff. Good stuff. Love to see it. Now, it gets even better. The United States is giving serious consideration to changing the Lake Ontario's name to Lake America. And that we don't expect to be doing much business with Ontario any longer. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Dude, I love when he does this. See, even his supporters, by the way, get upset at him when he does this. And they're like, no, how dare you? How dare you literally talk about this? Oh my God, they're out. They're literally, they're fucking with us. We're gonna fuck with them, and it's gonna be very entertaining the entire way through. Like, it's very funny watching them cope and scream. A lot of leftoids were really unhappy about this. I don't know if there are any good quote tweets specifically on this one, but dude, I saw some people absolutely furious. People were so mad. It's like, it's boring, actually. We hate this. It's very funny. I think most people think. Because, oh my God, you're not taking this seriously. No, dude, this is hilarious. I support it entirely. It's very freaking funny. That's right. Because I think it's important for the world to know that when we are the world's superpower, and you exist as a sovereign nation on our benevolence alone, you treat us with a little bit of respect. The fact that it's not called Lake America already is a gift to you. All right. And you should treat it that way. All right. Now, a lot of people are like, Nux, that sounds pretty imperial of you. Imperialism is the natural state of being. Okay. You know, I'm just going to say it. I'm not saying that might makes right, but I am saying that might makes. Fundamentally, if we wanted to conquer Canada, we could. We don't want to. We won't. But if we wanted to, we could. So technically, your sovereignty exists based on our benevolence. Okay, I just want to make this very clear. We are a superior nation, not only militarily and economically, but we are culturally superior. All right, I'm not trying to be rude here or anything to my Canadian buddies. I lived in Canada for a bunch of years. I like Canada. It's a shame that Canada is literally being conquered by the third world as we speak. But you know, anyway, that's just what happens when you let your empathy take over and you let your femininity take over instead of actually being men. That's what happens to your nation. You get raped. Actually, it's very sad. I'm not saying this is like a good thing. It's very sad. Now, being that we could conquer you at any time, and your entire ability to fight back consists of two men named Pierre with rifles on horseback. The truth is, you're welcome for your sovereignty. And if you're going to treat us poorly, we are going to rename all of your lakes. It's the greatest threat I've ever seen because it's just absolutely humiliating, and we have the ability to do it, and it's funny as fuck. What are you going to do about it? Cry? All right, anyway, what are you going to do about it? Have a PR meeting? Are you going to get all your Karens to come together to have a meeting on what meetings you could possibly have? All right, are you getting triggered? Like literally.
Colorblind, gender neutral, merit-based.
Yeah, that's not what they do in Canada. Anyway, so President Trump is finally ending Canada's free ride. It's the White House posts. And then the White House posts one of the most diabolical memes I've ever seen in my entire life. Lock in. Look at this shit. Just beautiful. The greatest thing I've ever seen. No context, no words, no quote, no caption. Just this. It's absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. And this is the Canadian response. All right, because the Canadian... Yeah, so that's what Canada had to say. Anyway, it keeps getting better, actually. You'd think that that's where it ends. So the Vice President, J.D. Vance, dropped a nuclear Freudian slip.
Portland Press Herald. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about the negotiations.
Talking about Canada.
And particularly, what might you say to businesses and consumers that are worried about the impacts of those tariffs and how those negotiations are going?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd say we're very mindful of the fact that Maine is a border state with Canada. There's a lot of cross-border transaction between Maine and Canada. And what we're trying to do here is just make sure that Maine actually gets a fair deal. If you look at the amount of tariffs that have been applied, not just on Maine, but on a lot of our northern states that are doing cross-border trade with Canada, Canada and China have been the two worst countries when it comes to trade policy anywhere in the world. What a shame that is.
What
China,
a
you,
shame.
of course, expect. They're our biggest economic competitor. I would expect that from China. I would not expect that from Canada. We have to remember, Canada is a state. Sorry. Freudian slip.
Oopsie, oopsie,
That was actually an
poopsie.
accident.
Man.
Canada is a country.
Yeah, if you say so. I mean, if you insist, whatever. Like, if you insist, absolute cinema, you love to see it. So then this guy, very unhappy guy, has this to say. This is a Canadian guy. The claim Canada would be invaded if it weren't for the umbrella of protection of the United States is strange. One, given the United States is the only country threatening to invade Canada. Now, this is leftist logic. Leftist logic be like, actually, Canada isn't under threat from any other nation, because no other nations did anything to us. Why did no other nations did anything to us? Because America's protecting us. So why is America protecting us? So other nations can't do anything, but they didn't actually do anything because America's protecting us. This is like the leftoid circular logic. It doesn't actually make any sense. But let me respond to this. Again, with a meme, no actual words required. We'll never allow the U.S. to invade us, says Canada. No, we love our national sovereignty. We will maintain our national sovereignty. Not one American will invade our country, says Canada. Anyway, the president had this to say about Canada, and it's really not going over very well.
They are one of the worst countries in the world to deal with. And this has gone on for many years.
Wait. Can we say this? I love Canadians and Canada.
Correct.
I do not like their administration.
Okay, well,
Right?
the administration and the previous administration too is terrible.
Yes.
But they have taken advantage of the United States for many decades. Actually, they charge tariffs that are unbelievable, like on milk, 400%, and on like. And I just said we're taking them on, and I took them on at the beginning, but we had so many other things to do because the country was a mess. But I said, we're going to take them on. We're going to stop it. And you saw the Lake Ontario. People thought I was kidding, but maybe I wasn't, because the last one you saw was the Gulf of Mexico, is Gulf of America.
I know.
So now we have a Gulf and we have a lake, okay? It's very simple. But look, I don't want to go into great detail because it's maybe boring to people, but to me it's not. They charge tariffs. They take advantage of us.
We are renaming the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean to the West American Ocean and the Eastern American Ocean. It's not going to be confusing, guys.
And they're not a state. And they've taken our car industry, and they've taken our agriculture industry.
Yeah.
The farmers can't sell anything in there because the tariffs are so enormous. And yet they want to sell in us without any tariffs. So I had a deal. That was a pretty good deal, quite good. Because they're afraid that I won't do any business. In other words, we won't trade. They don't have anything that we have to have. Okay, we can get by. I mean, there are a couple of things that would make it a little inconvenient, but we could get them elsewhere. And it's time to teach Canada you can't do this anymore.
It's time to teach Canada you cannot do this anymore. There's a reason why this continent is called North America, not North Canada. And I feel like it's important that you're aware of why.
There's $60 billion, and really more than that, $60 billion a year with Canada.
Mr. President,
we can't do that.
And then dude's like, no, Mr. President. Mr. President, you can't just say this. But yes, he can. You know why? Because we're the strongest nation on the planet, and we don't need to actually be nice to you. We're nice to you because we're nice. That's it. The end. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We don't have to be. We literally don't need to actually do anything for anyone. All of the charity work, like NATO, which is ultimately just a massive charity, which I think is a waste of our money. to be honest. The United Nations, waste of our money and time. Like, why are we putting effort into this shit? The reason why we're doing all this is purely for your benefit. We don't need you. We really don't. Obviously, you make something smoother. That's what trade does. Trade is good in that regard. Don't get me wrong. But fundamentally, we don't need you, and you do need us to survive. If America would pull its support entirely from all that shit, Europe would have already been conquered by Russia. Or at least they would have been in a massive war. Ukraine would have been destroyed. All right, as an example. You know, who knows if Chinese ships wouldn't start literally attacking Canada. Again, how are they going to fight back? Catapults, or they throw walruses at the Chinese? Like, I'm just being real here for a second. It would be Jover. All right, so the truth is, Trump is right about all the things that he's saying, and it's really time that the world actually respected us the way we deserve to be respected. It's actually, in my opinion, it says in the Bible that Moses was the most humble man that ever lived. That's what it says in the Bible. Now, Moses knew he was of the greatest men in history. He knew he was speaking to God face to face, it says in the Bible. All right? He didn't think he was some loser, because humility isn't thinking you're a loser. Humility isn't thinking you're a bozo, you're just like everybody else. Humility is knowing you are superior when you are superior, but humility is recognizing that your superiority is by the grace of God. So by the grace of God, America is the greatest country on the planet. It is the most powerful, and it is through our benevolence that you exist as a sovereign nation. Treat us with respect, or we will rename all of your lakes and rivers. Now, if you thought that the Donald Trump W's ended with what we've covered yesterday, then you are an absolute buffoon. All right, to all of the people that turned their back on Trump because he didn't do all the things that he promised within the first year of his second term of presidency while he was working through infinite Biden garbage and wading through endless communist sludge, well, all of you people will be remembered forever. All right, everyone that was out there on the train, impeached Trump, and all these people that are doing their absolute best to destroy us from within, you could suck a duck. And Hasan Piker basically came out to say that I was right. This was a surprise. Hasan literally comes out and says that I was right. Me, Nuxanor, was right about all the things. You're going to see. It's pretty diabolical. All right, so first things first. ICE just deported a Cuban immigrant to the Congo. Now, CBS reported on this.
Y Asmani, no pueden salir de ese edificio. You cannot leave that building.
No!
No, con el oficial solamente. Aquí afuera. Porque ya se llevaron a él a Daniel.
Wow.
Nos tienen
Wow.
aquí detenidos en un centro. No podemos salir.
We
no
can't
tenemos
leave.
documentos,
We don't
no
have
tenemos nuestra
documents.
familia,
We're stuck in the
en un
Congo.
continente que no conocemos,
We
la
can't
cultura,
get out of
hay
the
mucha violencia en
Congo.
la calle.
Now, I have a lot of things to say about this. First and foremost, and instantly the average IQ in America went up, and so did the average IQ in the Congo. So, W. That's one. And two, and this is even funnier, bro could have avoided all of it if he self-deported. I'm just saying. I have no sympathy for these people, all right? He invaded our nation. He refused to self-deport. We picked them up. We dropped them off somewhere. This is literally my trebuchet strategy, where you take them, they refuse to leave, you put them on a trebuchet, and you fling them somewhere in the vague southeast direction. See where they end up. Now, it could be fun. Think about it. All right, so that's my stance. W. Anyway, so a lot of people are very upset at me for my take on this, because they think it's unethical that he was sent to the Congo. And I mean, ideally, I would have sent him back to Cuba. But if you mess up and he ends up in the Congo, oh well. I guess your fat face is going to be in the Congo. What do you want me to say? It's your problem, not my issue. ICE arrests hit 50,000 in July, the highest month of Trump's second term. All right, despite the fact that everyone's saying, oh my God, but Trump isn't doing anything. Now, the border's closed. Understand the border is closed. We're having 0 illegal aliens coming into our nation, okay? Now, aside from that, we're also minus 50K a month. Now, people are saying it's not enough, and I agree. I wish it was more. But this is really massive. And because we shut down the entire donor network, it is unethical that they sent him to the Congo. Yeah, it's unethical. That's why it's funny. All right, you see, it would be justice if we deported him to Cuba, but it's comedy if we deport him to the Congo. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Shouldn't have done it, I guess. Guess he just shouldn't have entered our country illegally. El Bozo. What do you want me to say? Should have left. He should have self-deported. Oh well. I'm not going to cry about it. What? So Hasan Piker is going to be mad that his Cuban communist brother is in the Congo now? Oh well. Ripperoonie. I'm sure the Muslims there will love him. Anyway, so 50K gone in July. You absolutely love that. So that is another giant W to all the people that say that Trump isn't doing anything. But in fact, it gets even funnier because the winning doesn't stop there. Not even close. Minnesota is sending strongly worded letters to Somali gangs asking them not to fight at the Minnesota State Fair because the Somali clans inside of Minnesota are literally at war with each other and the police don't know what to do about it. They're like, oh my God, we are literally dealing with backwards, back-ass savages from the third world with an average IQ of 67. We can't control them from literally eating each other. All cultures are equal, by the way.
We've had gangs coming to the Minnesota State Fair for 30, 40 years. But they've always agreed the fair is neutral ground, and let's all go have fun and respect the fairgrounds. We've had Hell's Outcast, Hell's Angels here. The Hell's Outcast used to hang by the pickle stand. I've been here for many, many years, but we've never had threats of violence like we're having from the Somali gangs.
The worst, most diabolical piece of shit gang in America was not even close to the level of savagery we're seeing from first-generation Somali migrants. Okay, I hope you understand what we're dealing with here.
Well, we will have...
There is a biological war being waged on our nation.
Gangs, we'll have some Hmong gangs here. We'll have some, extremists on the right here. But none of them are promising chaos.
He's like, bro, the Nazis are better than the Somali. He's like, the far-right gangs are so nice. They're just so nice. They hang out by the hot dog stand. And, they have a couple of funny remarks they make about Jews. But ultimately, they're kind of nice dudes. Ultimately, they're Western people. The Somalis, they fucking eat each other, bro.
Except for the Somali gangs. We sent 233 letters to kids that we know have had
a fantastic solution by the Minnesota state government. The cannibals start eating each other in public, and you know what they do? They send letters. That's right. The Karenocracy is finding a way to fight back.
Association with some...
They literally can't read, by the way.
...of the other gang members. And really, it's a warning letter.
Yeah, a warning letter. We're gonna send more letters if this doesn't go well. Again, this is why this entire system falls apart. Like the feminization of Western civilization is truly diabolical. It really is. It's incredible. Obviously, he doesn't want to ban them because it's racist. Obviously, he doesn't want to deport them because I guess that means they're gonna go back to Somalia and that place sucks. So I guess we just have to let them eat each other. We'll send them letters though. It's truly awesome. Every single day, I become more vindicated with my prejudices. Man, that came out wrong. But the truth is, that's exactly what we're dealing with. They don't want to lose their voters. All right, so they're importing people. They're all coming with an entire family of tapeworms. And they're all making a nice, loving community here as they eat each other alive in public. It's truly amazing. Now, in fact, not only am I continuously getting justified, but the Trump admin pauses all immigrant visa applications worldwide. I voted for this, by the way. I'll have you know, this I voted for. In fact, I didn't even expect this one to go through because we're getting a lot of, cheap labor from, India and stuff. I did not think this would happen. I'll be honest. I'll just be upfront. I'll just be real. I didn't think we'd get this. We did. We actually got it, though. This is unbelievable. And all of these Owen Schroyer-type dipshits on the right that are, Trump sold us out, he betrayed us, and then they go on the Young Turks to say, we're so alike, you and I. Me and Cenk Uygur, we're both real Americans. Yeah, absolutely. All right, meanwhile, this is what the Donald has been up to, saving our civilization. Oh, well. J.B. Pritzker, fattest governor of all time, he decided to post this video. When you're in an aura farming contest and your opponent is J.B., they all want to be Trump so badly. All of them want to be Trump so badly. He is maxing something, and it's not aura. Every single one of these guys want to be Trump. It's incredible. Trump would post this, and everyone would love it. This dude gets 2 million views and 2,000 likes and 5,000 comments. Holy shit. It's truly wild. Incredible that he thought this was a good idea. Now, in fact, in regards to leftist politicians, a federal appeals court has rejected Democrat Representative LaMonica McLiver's immunity defense after she assaulted ICE agents in Newark 2-1. That's right, baby. McLiver faces 17 years in prison with 3 counts, 2 felony, 1 misdemeanor of assaulting, resisting, impeding, and interfering with federal officers. We are putting a congresswoman in jail, baby. In jail. And that's a black woman, so she'll probably get half the sentence. But in in jail, baby. That's right. You can't assault ICE officers, it turns out. I covered this months ago when it actually happened. And I remember when this happened, and all of the dipshits, the R-word right, because I can't say that anymore, on the right that are saying Trump betrayed us because she didn't go to jail. Yup. It took 6 months. She's going to jail. The wheels of justice turn slowly, but they freaking turn. Now, the truth is, you can actually go back to my video from 6 months ago, and I will say that, oh, she's going to go to jail. And I was right. I'm just more patient than these guys. Like, that's the difference. Turns out, if you thought that was the only W of the day, FBI arrests Massachusetts Democrat State Representative Francisco Polino on benefit fraud and money laundering charges. And FBI Director Kash Patel had this to say. This morning, the FBI arrested Massachusetts State Representative. This is a congressman, by the way. Francisco Polino, charged with an alleged scheme involving COVID-19 relief fraud and money laundering. Polino allegedly stole $700,000 in pandemic relief funded by taxpayers, using it for personal expenses like real estate, loan payments, and transfers to campaign account. Polino also allegedly loaned taxpayer funds at a significantly higher interest rate than he was paying. He is charged with 8 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of unlawful monetary transaction money laundering. This comes after FBI partners with Lawrence Mass Mayor Brian DePina earlier this month for similar fraud allegations. Ongoing investigation. No one is above the law. Absolute W. And it's also funny that they're all fat. I'm just saying, it is pretty funny that they're all obese. Like all the obese, dysgenic freaks from the Democratic Party, because evil corrupts from the inside, actually. You'll notice a trend here. Like, if you ever go to, like, look at one of Hasan Piker convention, you look in the background, and you are literally witnessing, like, Doom monsters. Like in Doom, when you go down there and you see some of, like, the most diabolical-looking schnorglisses of all time just glorbining around. Like, that is literally what Hasan Piker's audience looks like. It's incredible. Just like the goblins on the left are just getting absolutely dumpster cucked. It's incredible. It's wild to watch. Now, Tucker Carlson, of course, still makes believe that Trump betrayed America and nothing is happening, stuff like that. This is him explaining how the Russia-Ukraine war is Israel's fault. That's right. And he says this on Russian state television.
So everybody involved in this, the populations of Ukraine, Russia, and the United States, are all pawns in someone else's game, obviously.
Yeah. I love how he says obviously.
So why would you send a drone onto a beach in Russia? Why would you blow up its oil refineries? Why would you...
Is there a war? Hello?
Hit a school?
Why would you bomb the enemy in the middle of a war when they invaded you? Obviously, it's a strategy employed by nefarious, hooked-nosed cretins in Israel. I'm not talking about the Jews, necessarily. I'm talking about a foreign nation. I'm not insulting the Jewish people. Of course I love the Jews. No one loves the Jews as much as me. And Hamas. We both love the Jews.
What you're doing, of course, is trying to force Putin to react with violence. Force Putin to...
That's right. That's right. But who is really trying to trick Putin into invading Ukraine?
Escalate in a public way. So the United States and NATO are behind these attacks, as noted. Most people in the West have no idea they're even happening. So the point is to push Putin into a place where he cannot ignore this, where his population and the different power centers...
By the way, this is like treasonous, in my opinion. He goes on Russian state media to tell them that actually it's America and Israel's fault that Russia is at war with Ukraine. Like, this is insanity.
Within Russia, put so much pressure on Putin that he has...
To all fans of Tucker Carlson that aren't in Pakistan, is this your guy?
...to respond to the hypersonic missile into Warsaw or Hamburg, or has to hit a NATO country either with a hypersonic weapon or some kind of weapon, perhaps even a tactical nuclear weapon. And at that point, you can say, oh, Putin's the aggressor. That's exactly what's happening right now. Europe has no ability to make independent decisions. It's got American troops on its soil, and it has for 80 years. Do we really think that the EU or even NATO have sovereignty, that they're making independent decisions, that they're acting in their own interests? Obviously not. Do you think the population of Germany wants this, or even Britain? Britain is the most warlike of all. But do you really think they want this?
What? Like, what are we even want Russia to invade Ukraine? No, obviously not. But he's so certain that it's not actually Russia's fault. Then whose fault is it? Well, not Europe's fault.
Of course they don't. They are also pawns in whatever this is. And of course, it's a great global realignment of power. As the East rises and the West declines, there has to be, in the view of...
We are still by far the superpower in the world, and it's insane that he's making believe we're not.
The people mapping this out, some confrontation that just resets the board. resets the international monetary system, the terms of trade. All of this stuff is going to be reset, and the only way to reset it is with a global war. That's very obvious to me.
It's so obvious.
No one in America, in American politics, is ever allowed to criticize Israel in any way.
Yes.
Because they're controlled by Israel. Obviously. If you
Obviously. Obviously. Israel controls America to control Ukraine, to attack Russia, so Russia has to attack back. So we blame Russia for the attack that was obviously orchestrated by Israel. It's the most unbelievable thing ever.
And who controls you, who can't you criticize? I mean, it's just a basic fact of...
Yeah, notoriously, no one can criticize Israel. That's true. I've never heard a single criticism of Israel. Israel is the most unanimously beloved country on the planet, mostly because no one ever criticizes them. Have you noticed? Anyway, it keeps getting better. So here he is on his show, and he gets slight pushback because he tries to let it slide that Iran should have nukes. I want you to understand this. All right, he went from Iran's not trying to get nukes to actually Iran should have nukes.
Is it impossible that if more nations in the region had nuclear weapons, that you would have a more peaceful region?
Let's give the suicidal terrorists nukes for peace, obviously.
This is a long-standing argument that a number of people might...
And this is literally his controlled opposition that's trying to be like, oh, listen, man, I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible.
Dissertation advisor Kenneth Waltz made this argument in both a famous paper back in 1981, arguing that the gradual spread of nuclear weapons would actually be stabilizing and better than going to enormous lengths to try and prevent it from happening.
Yeah, this is stupid, actually.
Very controversial, got lots of criticism.
Yeah, because giving nukes to terrorists that literally believe in an apocalyptic suicide cult is actually a really bad thing to do. Yeah, that's why it got criticism. Yeah, hot take.
And then in his very last published article, a few months before he...
Tucker Carlson, by the way, I make fun of him a lot, but for those of you that are new here, I didn't hear my early criticisms of Tucker Carlson. I've always said that I think he's a foreign asset and stuff like that. That's why he hates America and whatever. And he pushes all this communist gobbledygook to destroy us from the inside and try to, gain power by appealing to the lowest common denominator. In case you didn't hear my full take, let me put it out here. He's using Israel to destroy America. All right? He understands that there's a lot of criticism of Israel. He was not the first to do it, by the way, not even close to the first to do it. He sees that the Israel dissatisfaction is growing a lot, and he immediately jumped on the train after he sensed it rising to make Israel the bad guy in literally all of the things, and he's using Israel to destroy America. That is what he is ultimately doing, and turn America into his little commie, globo-homo, gobbledygook world of absolute garbage.
He died. He published an article in Foreign Affairs. I think the title is Why Iran Should Get the Bomb. And he made exactly this argument that, in fact, if Iran were to get nuclear weapons, it would be relatively secure. It would no longer have much incentive to meddle around with other countries. And it would actually...
Iran wouldn't meddle with other countries if they had nukes. You heard it here first, folks. They killed 1 to 2 million people in the region, by the way. They caused every single instability in the entire Middle East. They are literally sending their terrorists to Cuba and Venezuela to fuck with us. All right, what are we even doing here?
Stabilizing effects. Again, very controversial, got lots of criticism.
They sent Hamas and Hezbollah into Israel to kill random Jews. Like, you don't think that they'll do something with their nukes?
Criticism. The logic behind that position is a powerful logic about that using nuclear weapons is completely irrational. For Iran to use a nuclear weapon against Israel or anybody else might invite its own destruction.
Well, it seems like they found a way to invite their own destruction without nukes too.
Useful only for deterring major attacks on your own soil, and therefore a nuclear Middle East might actually be more.
Have there been more or fewer wars per decade between India and Pakistan before Pakistan got the bomb or after?
That's a famous illustration of exactly this argument.
They literally just had a war last year. Again, it's insane.
There are also cogent counter-arguments.
I agree. I totally agree.
On the other side.
I see the other side about not giving nukes to the terrorist psychopaths. But I actually think that them nuking Israel might be an advantage. Anyway, so Thomas Massey also taking L's. Dude, it's so funny. All right, so he finds some random, complete, and utter kook poll. Guys, we did a straw poll but for 3,000 people in a straw poll. And according to the straw poll, Thomas Massie is the most likely candidate to become the next president of the United States. Bro, the Goyim are going insane. You lost in Kentucky. You lost in your own district as a 14-year incumbent. You're not, like, bro. It's even funnier. He's like, thoughts on this poll? Please reply with, when are you going to read the Epstein names if you're a paid troll? Like, he's so upset because, again, he promised he was going to read the Epstein names. People started asking him to read the Epstein names. And now he's like, if you're asking me to read the Epstein names, actually, you're literally paid by a foreign government. Actually, you're literally paid by a foreign government to tell me to read the Epstein names. Like, do you understand the obvious contradiction here? He said that Trump was a pedophile protector, and then this dude, who also knows the names, allegedly, had nothing to say for months? Weird. Where are the names, Thomas? Where are the names? And I'm not getting paid by anyone. I'm fully demonetized. I wonder if Asmon still defends Massie. I do wonder. Again, you know me. I'm 6 months ahead of the curve. All right, give Asmongold another 4 months, and he will start shitting on Massie the same way I do. All right, you'll see. That's the way it operates between me and Asmongold. All right, Asmongold is pro-Massie for a while. I always said Massie was an opportunist dick. He's also a libertarian, which means he believes in nothing. I know this is a hot take, but I actually think that your ideology is part and parcel of who you are. And I think libertarians tend to believe in nothing. Not all libertarians, but some. Some libertarians. Not trying to be rude. But anyway, you'll give Asmongold another 3-4 months. And he will start disliking Thomas Massie. Remember, Thomas Massie was silent for 4 years under Biden regarding Epstein, but then Trump comes into power and he calls him a pedophile protector. Interesting. So Marjorie Taylor Greene had this to say: someone has hacked my personal X account. Now I'm logging out. X, help me. Oh my God, it must be Israel hacking her. This is crazy. In fact, people were immediately suspecting Israel hacked Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene made a response. I guess it was a phishing scam imitating X. When I clicked on ticket details, it said my account was going to be permanently deleted unless I took action. Since I've been permanently deleted before, I followed instructions. They were able to get my password and log in. Change the password and turn on their own two-factor authentication, and now I'm locked out. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. She really thought this was a real X post. Oh my God. She really thought this was real. Boomer tech alert. Bro, these are the people that are saving our civilization against Israeli secret influence, by the way. It's truly incredible. Now, if you thought that was bad, Owen Benjamin, who I've been covering lately because he thinks that Charlie Kirk was eaten by Jews. This is a real thing, by the way. He's a big Candace Owens fanboy. Tucker Carlson endorsed him, actually. He had this to say: Charlie Kirk was slaughtered under the kosher rules. Pretty sure they ate him. All right, and then he shows this is the stadium, which kind of, from this angle, looks like a menorah. Okay, and these are the rules of slaughtering animals. These are the rules for slaughtering animals to eat them. This isn't shooting a person in the neck to eat him. Okay, like, again, like we are dealing with the lowest common denominator of humans. It's really amazing, actually. In fact, it only gets worse somehow. Alex Jones, after realizing all of his allies are complete and utter dipshits, they're completely stupid in every possible way. Turns out he's wrong about everything. He said that Trump should be impeached, even though Trump is actually doing tons of good things, including the deportations and all that. It's time to end the infighting. The enemies of the West in America are counting on us to collectively destroy each other. Alex Jones offers a symbolic olive branch to Dan Bongino, Tim Pool, and others. Jones goes on to pledge that he will do his best to focus on opposing the Red-Green Alliance, the Democrat Socialists of America, and other forces who have publicly declared the plan to destroy America and ultimately sink the West. I don't know, man. You turned into Israel grift for the last year, and now all of a sudden, when you realize that shit is this a recent tweet? This is today. He literally tweeted this today, by the way. All right, he tweeted this 6 hours ago. To understand... Isn't that incredible? What are the rules for slaughtering humans? There are no Jewish rules for slaughtering humans. All right? What? So anyway, so this is incredible. All right? So bro's going to come out here and be like, actually, it's time to end the infighting. It's true, I'm right about Israel and all the things and Charlie Kirk and all that thing, but I'm still going to support you completely, entirely. Dude. These people are incredible. They're amazing. So anyway, I think you should be press secretary. I think, like, Mr. Alex Jones, hear me out. Press secretary Alex Jones. Bro goes up there, the reporter asks him about men and women's sports or some shit, and he explains how the putting birth control in the water is turning the freaking frogs gay. It would be amazing.
I've seen contracts into the millions. You saw Alex this weekend lose his mind. These guys just can't stop. They can't control themselves. It's got nothing to do with anything other than a pure hatred for the administration disguised as this victim card. People telling you they're not taking money or their operations haven't taken money from foreign governments. Many of them are just straight up lying to you.
In my first 30 years on air, I had an instinctive rule. Don't ever involve yourself in infighting. Even when I was getting attacked, I rarely did.
And now he's calling for Donald Trump to be impeached. And now he's like, well, oopsie poopsie, we should all be friends and sing Kumbaya around the campfire. Now, to make all these people look a little bit stupider, so Tyler Robinson's defense literally called Candace Owens crazy. This is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. This is a court document from the Tyler Robinson case. There's a reference to, unstable people coming to the courthouse, to conspiracy theorists saying things online. We're all aware of that. I mean, I don't know what the court has read. It's none of my business. I've received some wacky phone calls and emails, people telling me what they think happened here. It's noise. We're not litigating this in the press. We're not talking to the crazies. That's on the outside, bro. They're all just like, yeah, this Candace Owens character, she bitches be crazy. In fact, Candace Owens recently went viral for this one. This is how she pronounces the word bureaucracy.
Oh, these women, they love democracy. No, they love a bureaucracy, okay? It's become a bureaucracy. There's just a bunch of bureaucrats in D.C. that are running everything. That was a very scary time where we realized just how bureaucratic our country had become. Politicians and to the bureaucrats who accept money during a cocktail party among bureaucrats. And we're going to figure out how all of these bureaucrats are just wasting tax dollars, people to sign in laws, creating all of these bureaucrats, these bureaucratic organizations. Bureaucracy.
Man, she really is just the cream of the pie. It's unbelievable. I feel like it's important to talk about her as much as I can. Bioweapon Owens over here sent in like an actual emotional grenade to detonate and destroy women's throughout the country. It's truly incredible. And they all fell for this like slopaganda, unbelievable true crime, Netflix-style investigation done by wine moms in their home that can't pronounce basic words or read. It's truly amazing. And you know who actually agrees with me on all the things? Not only does the person I'm about to show you agree with me in regards to the fact that Charlie Kirk was obviously killed by a deranged leftist, but also the fact that Charlie Kirk never actually changed his mind in regards to Israel. I've been saying this the whole time. Yes, I think Charlie Kirk was upset at Jewish donors that were pressuring him to censor him and not have host Tucker Carlson on his show. Absolutely. I think a lot of Jews are very annoying, actually, so that makes a lot of sense. But the point that I'm trying to make is he never changed his mind on Israel. In fact, he literally was writing PR notes for Netanyahu right before he died. He was also literally in a Zoom call the day before he was assassinated, planning his talking points on Israel better. Okay, he was always pro-Israel, and that didn't change, ever, actually, despite what the dipshits want you to say. He was way more pro-Israel than I am. So, I mean, like, obviously, this is wild to see that they're all doing this. And you know who agrees with me? You know who came out of nowhere to corroborate everything that I am saying? An unlikely ally, Hasan Piker. Hasan, terrorist-loving, dog-zapping, Mao, dick-sucking Piker. Turkish cockroach Piker. Unbelievable.
This could have been his opportunity. He could have been the next Charlie Kirk. And instead, Candace Owens came in and was like, I'm the new Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to get there by talking about Charlie Kirk in perhaps one of the more disrespectful fashions, even though all of the Kirk heads are now Candace Owens heads, and they think Candace is doing his memory justice. It is the most insane way to go out, man. It is such a crazy way. Like, his legacy would have been better honored if the Trump administration actually arrested people like myself by pointing to his assassination. True. And Candace Owens took that and was like, I'm the only one who cares about him. Peep the videos. That's my work wife. We listen to Nicki Minaj together. And also, Charlie Kirk can actually change electrical currents. And people were like, oh my God, I believe everything you're saying. Tell me more. She pointed to the menorah in the courtyard. She said, look at the menorah courtyard. There's a hole in the ground. You know who likes to make tunnels? Jewish folk. Look at Brooklyn. There's tunnels in there. As though there's any Jewish people in Utah. Anyway, doesn't matter. None of it matters. She literally dominated discourse with this. And there are people who...
I love how the left is like, yeah, we're going to lie to you. Yeah, we're going to push fake news. Yes, we're going to manipulate you. We all know it's lies. We don't actually care about the truth. We only want you destroyed. Look at this. Him admitting he should be arrested. Him admitting Candace Owens is crazy. Him admitting that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a radical leftist. It keeps getting better. He keeps corroborating the things that I say.
Or just straight up like, no, she's the truth teller. I forgot about his superpowers that she talked about. Yes, dude. Yes. Egyptian helicopters. The real Jews are the French. Like, she went, Jews killed Kirk, and then she went, the real Jews are the French. I was there. I watched all of it happening. I couldn't believe it. She said, it's Jews that control the media. Then she said, it's actually French that control the media because the real Jews are the French. She said that shit. And perhaps what's more insane is people believed it. Why didn't he just say Israel did it too? I think he's just, I don't know. I think he has the same kind of autism.
I love how Hasan Piker can't possibly fathom that some people are just honest. Isn't that incredible? He's like, but why didn't Nick Fuentes also blame Israel? Because he didn't think it was Israel, because there's no evidence that it's Israel. But he doesn't believe that, because in Hasan's worldview, the truth is secondary to the narrative. The narrative always dominates the truth to him. He doesn't care about reality.
That I have where he has to literally, like, when he sees something as illogical as the argument that, like, Israel killed Charlie Kirk, he just can't, he has to say that that's not the case. I don't know. It is kind of crazy that if Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated, we were straight up going to debate on the issue of Israel.
Yeah, and then you celebrated his death. Isn't that fucked up?
So I am at least uniquely positioned in this story.
It is pretty interesting, though, and he does make a valid point here, actually. Look how incredible this is. Before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Charlie Kirk was supposed to debate against Hasan Piker on if Israel is justified attacking Gaza. He was killed right before a debate that he was supposed to have defending Israel, and they're saying he turned on Israel. Like, bro.
To know exactly what his takes were, because I was researching his positions on Israel. And that is my only point of view on this, where, like, even if it was Israel that killed him, which I don't believe, but also, if my queen believes it, then what am I? I'm just a bystander. You know what I mean? I can't argue against the queen. However, the one area that I take issue with is literally the notion that Charlie Kirk was changing his perspective on Israel. Charlie Kirk was, till the last moment, Donald Trump's loyalist, okay? He was Donald Trump's servant. I have plenty of evidence to show you, especially on the issue of Jeffrey Epstein. Charlie Kirk was a huge Jeffrey Epstein guy, and as soon as Donald Trump gave him a boss call and said, shut the fuck up about Jeffrey Epstein, he said, I'm going to shut the fuck up about Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that was actually not completely true. He just lies here in order to slander a dead man, which is unbelievably fucked up. However, Charlie Kirk was right about what he said about Jeffrey Epstein, which is he said that Jeffrey Epstein is a talking point being manipulated by the left. Okay, that's what he said, to be clear. All right, so while Hasan Piker is making it sound like Charlie Kirk was defending pedophiles before he was killed, which is a lie, Charlie Kirk was actually literally and directly stating that the leftists using Jeffrey Epstein this way is malicious and dishonest, and he's completely right. Because it turns out Jeffrey Epstein was a leftist operative. He was friends with all the leftists around the world. He was funding transgenderism. He was funding COVID lockdowns and shit like that. All right. He was funding every Democrat. 89% of his donations went to Democrats. All right. That's the truth. And the craziest part is, so here we have Hasan Piker literally slandering a dead man, obviously.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
Charlie Kirk unironically did write a book that I think is now postmortem published about Israel, specifically about how conservatives should defend Israel. He wrote a letter to Netanyahu on how to win back the youth. This is literally this was one of his primary concerns.
So Hasan Piker is essentially saying that Charlie Kirk was not killed by the Jews. He was not changing up his opinions on Israel. He was doing all those things. He simultaneously celebrates his death. However, he will never correct the record. He will continue slandering him even after he's dead. He will continue justifying his murder. He will continue pushing Candace Owens' slop that's destroying Charlie Kirk's family, despite the fact that he knows it's not true, because it helps him. All right, because it helps him. In Hasan Piker's worldview, Israel evil. So therefore, he's more than happy to let Candace Owens destroy Charlie Kirk's family, because Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. All right, it doesn't matter. He thinks that all conservatives are evil, and he hates America. So he is doing whatever he can to destabilize and destroy America in every possible way. He doesn't care about our nation, obviously, but also he's evil and wants to kill us. All right, so understand the mindset that he has when he goes out there and pushes things that he knows are lies. So I really find this clip fascinating because here he is basically admitting that, like, my take is correct and Asmongold's take is correct, except he would never say that, obviously, because he wants the lies to win. The truth never matters to the left because the left doesn't believe in actual physical reality. The left believes in whatever they want to believe. The left thinks men could be women if it suits them, and the left thinks that communism works. All right? The left actually is cancer. They are demons. They use words as weapons to manipulate you and destroy you. They're goblins. They're xenos. They're aliens, and they need to be purged in flame. Heretics. In fact, I did an entire deep dive on leftists. It's on my Patreon, actually, talking about how leftists are all evil and they use words as weapons and they just lie constantly. They are anti-reality warlocks, and we will destroy them. Man, do you wish you actually had financial sovereignty? Do you wish that that the people in control actually did not have control over your money? Well, finally, you can. This is a paid advertisement for Rumble Wallet. They're sponsoring this portion of the show. What if your bank told you no to own your own money, delayed your transfers, froze your accounts, unexpected limits? It happens more than people think, especially under leftist governments that will literally debank you if they don't like you. That's why crypto exists. It gives you control, not partial control, but real, actual ownership. Most people never try it because it feels complicated, and that's where Rumble Wallet comes in. Yes, it's a wallet where you can store your crypto, but it's a lot more than that. You can buy crypto in minutes, send it wherever you want, cash out anytime, no waiting around wondering if your money will clear. It connects with MoonPay. You can use your debit card, credit card, bank account to get started real fast. Inside the wallet, you choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. For a limited time, you can start your wallet with $10 in US stablecoin for tipping Rumble creators like me by entering my exclusive promo code NUX10 when you sign up now. So scan the QR code, use the link in the description, download Rumble Wallet, and try it yourself. Don't forget to use the code NUX10 and claim $10 for tipping in USA stablecoin. For some of you, this might be the first crypto you own, and it's free. Once you use it, you'll understand the difference between accessing your money and actually owning it. Restrictions apply. There's a limited number of entries available. Terms and conditions apply. See the description below or visit rumble.com/promo official rules for details. Thank you so much for your support, Rumble Wallet, and thank you to everyone watching and supporting me and actually tipping me on Rumble Wallet. I'm fully demonetized on YouTube, and honestly, this helps so much more than you could possibly know. Back to the chaos. Whoa, what is that? I really didn't. I don't like that hand sign, that hand motion at all. What's he doing over there? Breaking news! Hasan Piker says anyone tried to twist his words as anti-Semitic is a dirty, lying Jew. Man, that's crazy. We got a lot to talk about over here, and it includes the complete and utter downfall of Hasan Piker and all of the Islamic, democratic socialists that are trying to take power. These dysgenic freaks that are actually trying to make believe that they aren't horrible, ugly people inside and out. It's truly wonderful to see. So if you are at all locked in, you will be literally blessed with some of the most entertaining stuff on the internet. So first, Marcus Rubius, first of his name. Far-left terrorism poses a profound threat to the United States and the broader West. Today, the United States sanctioned several transnational far-left terrorist networks, including the Autistici and Inventitati, a major far-left tech collective whose services use the most active and violent Antifa cells in the United States and across the world. There will be no refuge for violent extremists who wage war on our civilization and plot to undermine law and order, destroy critical infrastructure, assault political opponents, or conspire to conceal their crimes from authorities. We will use all the tools and authorities at our disposal to fight terrorism and protect our way of life from terrorist coercion. Now, I hope you're locked in, boys and girls, because Hasan Piker is 999.9% cooked. Bro is dunzo. Like, giga dunzo. They're going after the dipshits. And if they're going after leftist terrorists, that means that they're going after people with small heads, big heads, medium heads, fat. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be wild to watch the dysgenic freak clown show walking into jail. It's going to be amazing. Rape his ass, Mr. Rubio. That was a joke. Anyway, so the State Department reveals that Portland Antifa had connections to Hamas and Iran's IRGC. I wonder if there's any other interesting figures out there that has connections to Hamas. Like Hasan Piker, who literally multiple times stated that he's in contact with Hamas terrorists, which I've exposed previously on my Hamas is fucking evil series. Interesting. Weird. Anyway, U.S. designates Palestine Action as a global terrorist organization. Are the walls closing in? Are the walls closing in? Mind the gape. The walls are closing in. It's pretty diabolical. Now, this is a clip that went very viral, and Hasan Piker got condemned by everyone for it. I hope you're ready for Cripple Fight! That's right, the moderate left versus the radical left. While the right wing jails terrorists, the leftoids are cripple fighting again.
And you want to know why? Because people don't fuck with Israel any longer. And if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action. Not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews.
If you don't support Hamas, American Jews, we're gonna kill you. So this clip went very viral, obviously. Hope you're ready.
Okay. We're teaching people the wrong lesson. I don't know how people don't recognize how dangerous this predicament is, how dangerous this is for Jews.
It's dangerous, Jews. It's dangerous. What if you don't support Hamas? Uh-oh, it's dangerous, Jews.
You're running around basically tying your entire identity to a country that inevitably...
I can't believe the Jews tying their identity to Israel. What did Jews and Israel have to do with each other? That they're tying their identities together.
He will be seen as basically Jewish ISIS.
Yeah, Israel is Jewish ISIS because they kill terrorists. Makes sense. Now, ISIS kills hundreds of thousands of people all over the place. Yeah, but anyway, that's Hasan Piker. Obviously, he loves ISIS. So, I mean, I guess he likes Israel now or something.
And you're saying, as Jews, this is all we care about.
All we care about. We only care about Israel killing Palestinians. That's the only thing Jews care about. I don't know if you're aware. But anyway, it's pretty diabolical, the backlash that he got. So Cory Booker, U.S. Senator from New Jersey. Hasan's dangerous and hateful language targeting Jewish Americans has no place in our civil discourse. Suggesting Jewish Americans bear responsibility for anything is crazy and wrong. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? All right, I'm going to scan through this because there's a lot of them. Representative Josh Gottheimer in April introduced a bipartisan resolution condemning anti-Semitic rhetoric from people like Hasan Piker and Candace Owens. Oh, no! Piker proved why we need it. In fact, multiple U.S. senators did exactly the same thing. Hasan Piker is getting deported to the Congo, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready. Alyssa Slotkin, in response to Hasan Piker's comments on Jews in America. All right, Senator Jackie Rosen. Hasan Piker's been trafficking in anti-Semitic tropes for a while, but this is a new low. Rep. Greg Stanton, framing violence against Jewish Americans as something brought upon themselves, shifts the blame from the perpetrators onto the people that they wish to harm. Brad Schneider, all of us should strive to be a light against the darkness of Hasan Piker. I've been waiting for this moment. I was waiting to prey on your downfall. You see, I was investing in Hasan Piker back when he was supporting 9/11 and shit. I was investing in when I was small. And now that his stocks are bigger, well, let's just say the cash out is going to be glorious. It's going to be absolutely glorious. Now, here's the thing. I'm not like the type of guy that freaks out about anti-Semitism and stuff. Notoriously, Jews have been hated for like the last 2,000 years, wherever Jews have gone. You know, some was their fault, some wasn't. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. So I'm not actually surprised about this, but don't worry, chat. I will leverage anti-Semitism for the sake of America and deport that cockroach. All right? I hope you're aware of how this works. I actually don't. If you watch my content at all, you see I never scream anti-Semitism. I think that the Jew jokes are funny. I think you should be able to question the Holocaust and all that stuff. And I think it's disgusting that they make it illegal to ask questions in certain countries. All right? If you know my stances and anything, you know that all that shit. However, I will use anti-Semitism for America. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. W Jews, what can I say? Cenk Younger, I have a lot of disagreements with Hasan Piker, and I come from a very different part of the party. Populist, leftist, opposed to democratic socialists of America. Every so-called Democrat who's attacking the candidates based on the connection to Hasan are trying to hurt candidates on behalf of Israel. Bro, I love it. I love these people so much. They make my day better. I'm telling you, one of my favorite things to do after a hard day is just open up anti-Semite Twitter, as some people have coined it, and just see what these guys have to say. Like, these are the real Israel first guys. You see, I am America first. I think that America needs to do what's in the benefit of America. I don't want to be funding Israel. I don't need funding any foreign nations. I want to get out of NATO. I want to get out of the UN. I don't want to deal with any of this shit. I want to kill terrorists. I want to blow up idiots that are trying to kill us. And all these people that have been mind raped by the Jews, all right, are quite literally incredible. You are the greatest Jewish propaganda machine I've ever seen in my life. If you think the only reason why people are criticizing Hasan is because they're owned by Israel, you probably rape goats. Oh, it's Cenk. Never mind, actually. So anyway, Abdul El Sayed, this is the guy who was literally campaigning with Hasan Piker the entire time. He came out with a statement condemning Hasan Piker, except he didn't want to say it out loud because obviously he supports terrorism too. All right, Abdul El Sayed supports terrorism? That's a shock. So he makes a whole statement. I believe all the Americans deserve the rights to advocate for what they believe in without fear and violence. It's true for communities. My commitment to the Jewish community safety comes as the commitment of safety for my own daughters, which suspiciously I sold to my cousin as sex slaves when they were 4 years old. That was a joke. Anti-Semitism is a scourge. We must address it in all its forms. Bro. So, of course, he doesn't condemn Hasan because he supports him, but he has to make a statement because he is tied to Hasan. So Hasan is literally the ball and chain around the neck of the Democrats, and I worked so hard to make this happen. Again, I feel like I don't deserve the credit here. I feel like this has been a team effort from a lot of people. All right, I'm a humble guy. I don't deserve all the credit. I was literally sending Hasan clips to like probably dozens of people in Congress at this point, and I know that they've seen them because they've responded to them. But that's probably a coincidence that you know, I'm just saying, patriots are out here fighting the good fight. So anyway, Hasan immediately responds to all these people that call him out. We should calculate how much AIPAC is for these candidates, bro. Dude, it's so funny because AIPAC is literally 1% of what Qatar funds in America. And I'm not even exaggerating. Qatar gives 100 times the amount that AIPAC gives. Literally. Not even exaggerating. 100 times. 100x. All right? Like, as just an example. You know what else gives more than AIPAC? China. Japan. Thailand. Not Thailand, sorry. Taiwan. Fuck. Big Pharma. The NRA. All these other fucking massive ass companies. All these companies they're all giving more than AIPAC. All right. Now I'm not saying I like AIPAC. I actually really don't like AIPAC. I actually don't think that we should have any foreign lobbying at all in our country at all. But like Hasan thinks that all the criticism against him is the Jews. It's all the Jews. That's why they're criticizing the guy that thinks that they want America to soak in the blood of the red capitalists, the red capitalist blood. All right, you think that Hasan Piker, the guy that said America deserves 9/11, you think his criticism only comes because he's critical of Israel? You think this guy that celebrates Charlie Kirk's assassination and eggs his audience on to do it to more people, you think this guy only gets criticism because of Israel? Like, again, it's so funny that he thinks he can actually trick people with this. Because I think that this is what his 80 IQ ass is trying to do. I think he's like, oh my God, I could just trick them into thinking that all my criticism comes from Israel. And his audience of Pakistani and dysgenic freaks are all going to support him. All right, now Hasan Piker actually literally takes the gun, puts it in his mouth, and pulls the trigger.
There are going to be a lot of people who are already questioning Abdul al-Sayed's sincerity on these issues that will then turn around and say, oh, he's moderating his position on Israel, all this stuff. I don't think he is. Okay. I will say this. I am literally the person that is being dangled. And I'm going to tell you once again, he's not moderating on his perspective
this
on
Israel
so or anything like that. Okay. His reaction to this has always been very good, which is, look, I deal with people that I don't fully agree with and don't fully subscribe to on a daily basis. This is politics. Politics is about addition, not subtraction, right? It's smart. It's the right way to deal with it and then deflect back to the issues because they are the ones who are engaging in the deflection. Okay? There are going to be a lot of people.
This is one of the greatest clips on the internet, and no one understands why, but this shit will be literally the actual nuke. All right? This is the nuke. What Hasan is saying here is correct. What Hasan is saying here is that Abdul al-Sayed made a statement, and he lied in that statement. Because Abdul al-Sayed also hates the Jews, and also supports Hamas, and also wants Israel to blow up, and also wants the Jews to get genocided, just like me. That's what Hasan is basically saying here. Except Abdul al-Sayed is lying because he needs to lie to the people, to placate them, because they're stupid. This is amazing. This clip is amazing. Hasan Piker is saying that Abdul al-Sayed actually does agree, but he's lying when he disavows him. This is the best possible statement we could have ever said. Bro's gonna come out there like Takia exposed. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Because obviously, Hasan's totally right. Of course Abdul al-Sayed still supports all the terrorists and the condemnation is fake. But I love that he says it. I love that he says it. Hasan out here looking like the girl that got dumped and is in denial. But he's literally right when he's like, no, he still loves terrorism. I'm just a little healthcare boy. He still loves terrorism, guys. Don't hate on Abdul al-Sayed. He still loves terrorism. He just has to say this to lie to the idiots. Dude, it is absolute cinema that he comes out and says this. Now, the person that posted this clip, this guy Max Nordau, I'm pretty sure he's a Jewish professor in a college or something. I don't really know him or anything, but Hasan Piker tries to dox him in a very funny way.
I think it was like DSA Watch or this guy, one of the like beeper in the bio accounts, right? That, yeah, his name is Brian Griffin. Yes, literally, like the Family Guy. Anyway, so the smear starts here, right?
No, it's not. His name is Max Nordau.
Right? Abdul al-Sayed surrogate Hasan Piker on American Jews.
Like, isn't that incredible? And then he does it again. He does it a second time.
Except Max Nordau, who himself is LARPing as a Jewish person, even though he's not. I believe his name is Brian Griffin. He's not Jewish.
He's literally a Jewish professor in like some Florida university. As far as I understand. And Hasan is out here. Oh, he's not even Jewish. He's like actually Christian. He's LARPing as Jewish. His real name is Brian Griffin. How do you fall for this? How could you possibly fall for this?
Jewish, but he lies about being Jewish on the timeline.
None of this is true. He just He just shows up and lies. It's amazing. Now, my favorite response to all this is Abdul El Sayed's, because this dude has been slaughtering his own reputation in fantastic, spectacular fashion ever since this Hasan Piker situation went out. He's going out doing press conferences, literally just glazing the Jews. I'm not like Hasan Piker. I love the Jews. They're a light upon the nations. The Jews are so awesome, actually.
Well, look.
Insane overcompensation.
I like to keep private conversations private. And what I'll tell you is that the conversations I've had with future Congressman-elect, God willing, Jeremy Moss, have been about what it looks like to come together agreeably across our disagreements. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat the idea that we have disagreements, particularly when it comes to foreign policy and the best use of our tax dollars.
What the fuck do you have to do with foreign policy? Dog, you have nothing to do with foreign policy. Worry about Michigan.
And the plurality of Michigan Democratic primary voters nominated me to be the Democratic nominee. Now, I think it's important for us to recognize.
That's not added in. He is literally clearing his throat like a goat, by the way.
That the position that I hold on foreign policy is about trying to uplift and empower all people. It's about the kids in a community not too far from here where the median income is $14,000 a year, and the fact that Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Sir, your friend said he wants to kill Jews. What are your takes? Well, I would really like if we had free healthcare. I would really like free healthcare.
Is still nearly $1.7 billion behind on the necessary repairs in the school district, despite putting $700 million into the school district over the last year.
Doesn't that mean that there's fraud in the government? Right? I love how these people think that the only solution to everything is just give more money to the government, and they'll just handle it better.
It's about keeping our tax dollars here to invest in those schools here. It's also about making sure that we
give Israel 0.01% of our foreign budget, okay? Like, that is not fixing the school system. Not even close. We spend 1,000 times on our schools compared to what we spend on foreign aid to Israel. Again, but no one actually cares about the numbers. It's about the narrative.
In our foreign policy, we substantiate equal rights to peace, dignity, and self-determination for Palestinian folk. And I'd rather my tax dollars not get
ethno-nationalist for the Palestinians, but not for the Americans. Many such cases.
Spent to take away some people's self-determination that could be used to empower.
All borders are fake, except for Palestine.
For other folks here. That's not about.
You know, they said free Palestine, and then the Jews heard, and they were like, free? They showed up and took it.
Hating anybody. I'm grateful to have grown up in a community where I got so much exposure and empowerment from the Jewish community.
I love Jews.
I'm so grateful. Judaism and Jewish people are a light unto the world.
A light unto the world, bro. Oh, man. I just wake up and I'm thinking, oh, Jews are just so freaking cool. Jews are amazing. Jews. I just wake up and I'm like, man, Jews, they did so good. Yeah, the Quran says we should kill them and stuff, but whatever. The Quran's wrong on that one because Jews, frick, man, they're so good.
Incredible contributions to our society, our culture.
W Jews.
A beautiful faith that rhymes with so much of my own. And so
yeah, except for the part where like we're commanded to kill them. Aside from the fact that we're commanded to kill the Jews, like literally they are my favorite people. It's so amazing. So anyway, this dude is going on this Jew glazed apology tour, and it's very fun. Now, this is a clip from Hasan's stream, by the way, just a guy who wants free healthcare, and it's sped up so that you could enjoy it properly. This is him literally publishing Hamas propaganda on his stream. Hamas, which by the way, Secretary Marco Rubio just designated as connected to Portland Antifa. Okay, just want to make that clear to any United States officials that might be watching that want to learn something.
Oh, also, here is a video that came out of how Hamas produces their own motherfucking sniper rifles called the Qassam Ghul sniper rifle, which is derived from the Iranian AM-50 Sayyad. Bathtub sniper rifles, man. That's crazy. Is that COD?
This is an internationally recognized terrorist organization, by the way. They run out of bullets, they put goats on slingshots, and they just fling them into Israel.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Get ready.
This We will continue killing your soldiers by our locally manufactured snipers. Wow, there's a little message for the Americans out there as well.
What did he mean by that, chat? What do you think he meant by that, chat? Is he just criticizing Zionism? Guys, is he criticizing Zionism? Is he just like, does he just want free healthcare? I think he just wants free healthcare. Anyway, it gets even funnier. So, by the way, let me just remind you that he's on Twitch, and the CEO, Dan Clancy, went on record saying how much he enjoys Hasan's content, and he wants children as young as 8 on the Twitch platform to get indoctrinated by this. Let me just make that clear for a second, all right? Because everyone's going to be responsible and held culpable for this. All right, I don't know if we're waiting so that we can honeypot as many terrorists as we can, but I'm confident that we're going to see some fireworks, baby. Now, finally, Special Mossad agent Shlomo Fuentes has entered the fray. Patriot, notorious lover of Jews, and defender of the Jewish faith, Shlomo Fuentes has decided to take a stand.
Hey, someone needs to tell Hasan Piker that threatening the safety of Jews is never okay, idiot. Hey, asshole. I don't know who needs to tell you this, and why am I the one that needs to say it, but threatening the safety of Jews is never okay. It's always anti-Semitic. You anti-Semitic filth.
Patriot. That's what I'm saying. Shlomo Fuentes out here fighting on behalf of the Jews like he always does. A lot of people think that he's some sort of agent, but no, obviously he cares about the Jews deeply. More than anyone I know personally. I just have to say, bro's out there fighting the good fight on behalf of the Jews every day. And I have to also state that, as a very wise blue Jew once said, I uniquely get shit from the far right and the far left, and I could say with 100% certainty, I would entrust my life to Hitler-heiling, anti-Semitic, Jews control the universe, Nick Fuentes Groiper, named Kill Rape Jews Groiper 42069, over a moderately leftist college student that goes to overwhelmingly peaceful protests and celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. That's how bad it is. I have been so vindicated when I made that statement. By the way, Hasan called me out for that statement, which is hilarious because now he's out there on stream saying that, oh, we're gonna kill American Jews if they support Israel. Like, it is unreal. And by the way, I am vindicated every day. This is like an evergreen statement because you're radical, horrible, far right neo-Nazi is just some guy that's critical of Israel. All right, your left-wing critical of Israel guy literally wants to kill the Jews. Is that not just fucking cinema? I'm sorry, is that not just like absolute fucking cinema? Now, in fact, it even gets funnier. So Mehdi Hasan, you really don't accept that them attacks on Piker or obsession with him giving Rogers a pass for his alliance with actual fascists and racists? Like, he's like, I don't understand why they're attacking a leftist like Piker when they should be attacking right wing like Rogers, who's fascist because he's Republican. Well, the answer is simple. It's because no one actually thinks right-wing people are fascists. They just use words as weapons to destroy you, whereas Hasan Piker literally loves terrorism, and it's amazing. It really is. Even Destiny, cripple fight! Destiny enters the fray. You are dramatically out of step with the party. Most Americans, especially Democrats in battleground states, aren't going to be happy aligning with a man who's cheering on Islamic terrorists, pushing for Jewish genocide, and praying for the destruction of the United States. Now, the funniest thing is, yeah, he's right. So the cripple fight is just absolutely diabolical. The cripples keep rumbling with each other, tumbling in the mud. Right? Mehdi Hasan being like, I don't understand why they're criticizing Hasan when they should be going after the fascists. It's because none of them believe that they're fascists. But they do believe that Hasan's a terrorist. That's the funniest part of it all. Like, these people were fooled by their own takia. Now, in fact, if you want to see murder on the timeline, well, I got you, homies. This is the place to be. Subscribe for more murder on the timeline. This guy, Will Chamberlain, said, I totally agree. American Muslims like Abdul need to pay reparations to the families of victims of 9/11 and the soldiers who lost their lives in the war on terror. All right, so this is obviously a nice jab at reparations. You know, everyone's saying, oh, you need to give reparations to black people because of slavery or some shit. All right, okay, well, then you need to give every Muslim needs to give America reparations for the soldiers lost in Afghanistan and Syria and 9/11. All right, like, literally. And so his response, dude, it's so good. He literally fell for the trap. Nothing to see here, just a conservative pundit blaming all Muslims in America for 9/11. Imagine if a leftist pundit blamed all Jews in America for Gaza. Which Hasan Piker just did, by the way. And two, Gaza had it coming. So anyway, will we see a heated condemnation of a racist freak like Piker? Of course not, because he didn't say anything wrong. And Will Chamberlain responds, wait, are you saying it's wrong to demand people compensate others for an atrocity they had nothing to do with? So are you against reparations now, leftists? Oh, God. literally fucking fell for the trap. It's so fucking awesome to see. These people are dumb. They're not intelligent. They're just really good at manipulating you. Now, as evidence to this, in one of the funniest interviews of all time, Abdul El-Sayed, friend of Hasan Piker, supporter of terrorists and lover of 9/11, went on to Fox News to debate Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters is not some good debater, but oh my God, he gets murdered.
You dodged again. Sex changes for minors. Do you support that?
Look, you know, I remember having great conversations with my conservative friends about right-to-try legislation. The idea that the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have.
We're talking about child castration, sir.
I just think the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. And if you're a minor, it's between
you want to
your
try
doctor
on
and your
kids?
parents. Now, if you disagree with that, if you disagree that health care decisions need to be made by a doctor and their parents.
We're talking about castrating children, by the way.
And a patient, then we think we agree to disagree. But, you know, you want to put government inside.
Yeah, agree to disagree. I don't believe in child castration, and he does.
Abdul, you're a doctor, right?
Selectively.
And he's a doctor.
I am.
So you think it's okay for a parent to slash his kid's thing-a-ling off? You think that's okay?
I mean, do you really want to have this conversation? Are you circumcised?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a
Jesse,
personal question.
Okay,
doctor.
So you probably should want to move on.
You should move on. Checkmate.
Circumcision's different than castration.
Everyone knows this, by the way. He's like, if you think it's okay for children to get circumcised, which doesn't actually really affect their life, you should totally be okay with castrating children. It's the same thing.
I think it's a problem. It's a problem that you think that you get to decide what happens between a parent, a doctor, and a patient. And I'm just saying that, yes, circumcision is surgery on a kid's dingling. So if you really want to bring that up, you can.
Surgery on a kid's dingling that doesn't actually have some sort of major negative effect on anyone's life is not the same as castrating a kid. Bro, this guy, this is the Epstein class. Literally, the Epstein class are the leftists that are pushing child castration. Literally.
And I just think you guys are really selective about how you want to talk about these things.
You're really selective. You support circumcision, but you're against child castration? Man. Caught him. What a hypocrite. Dude, it's so wild, and it keeps getting crazier, all right? Every single thing. So he asks him about the federal budget. Now, because his whole thing is like, well, the reason why I spend my entire campaign talking about Israel is because I'm against funding Israel, because we need to spend on free healthcare. Literally. He's like, the reason why we hate Jews here and we support Hamas is because we want healthcare. This is how he ties it together. So he asks him what the federal budget is.
About losing their healthcare with their job.
Well, give me the total number.
Look, while you're out here trying to talk about the broader national budget, I'm a lot more interested in the everyday budgets that Michiganders are thinking about. And that's exactly the budget that Donald Trump and Mike Rogers are blowing up right now.
Well,
I just don't see why you're so on the side of the billionaires, Jesse, rather than on the side of everyday Michiganders.
No, because I don't want you guys to blow the country up. Do you know how much the federal budget is now?
No, neither do I. Here's exactly
What's the federal budget?
You guys want to, right, Pete Hegseth, who used to
Abdul,
work
answer
for
the
your
question. Do you know what the federal budget is?
To raise... No. I just want to talk about this. Look, you want to talk about budgets, I'm happy to do that. The guy who used to work on your channel, I think it was like the sixth
I want to talk about Israel. It's not too late. Palestine.
Military budget to 1.5
genocide in Gaza or something.
Upset about that.
They started a war and lost. Wait.
We don't know how to get out of, to raise our gas prices $5 a gallon. That doesn't make sense to me, Jesse. We want to talk about the things that we actually should spend on. To me,
I
that's
have a feeling, Abdul, you don't even know how
schools.
much money the government spends every year. Do you know?
Look, the question, Jesse, to me
All right,
is...
so you don't know. Let me tell you what it is. It's $7 trillion a year. And your plan
Jesse,
to take over the healthcare system is $4 trillion.
And here's the problem with it. So
understand what the left wants. They want a $4 trillion universal healthcare budget. The entire government spending is $7 trillion. Okay, I hope you understand how absolutely fucking insane this is. Okay? Literally. They want around 60% of the entire federal budget to be in their universal healthcare program. That's crazy.
Exactly your point.
I mean,
do you know what?
I'm not very good at math. I don't think you're very good at math either, but go ahead.
Clearly.
Bro, just absolutely humiliated. Holy shit. Holy shit, Asmongold supports it. Dude, you think I base my opinions on Asmongold? Give Asmongold 6 months and he'll start seeing it this way instead. All right, Abdul El-Sayed also was saying that white supremacy is to oppose Sharia law. Like, this entire interview was just a nightmare, bro. Abdul El-Sayed said he wants to replace the Second Amendment.
So we're all good. You also said this. You want to replace the right to bear arms with the right to health care. You don't want to replace the Second Amendment, do you?
Well, look, man, I think more people are more worried about whether or not they can see a doctor than whether or not they can have a gun. I'm just going to put that out there.
I mean, you're dodging the question.
Did not answer the question.
Replace the Second Amendment?
Yes, because the socialists and communists literally want to destroy the Constitution.
I'm just saying that more people are more concerned about seeing a doctor. If we had a right to health care in this country, they probably wouldn't. And I think that'd be a pretty good thing, don't you?
I think you dodged the question. And that's a pretty big one in Michigan.
Yeah, it is a pretty big one, actually. Damn, that's crazy. So Daniel Hakikachu, this is a Muslim radical nutcase guy that supports cousin marriage. By the way, this is a real thing. I'm not exaggerating. Everything. I actually tell the truth on the channel. I'm not like one of these guys. All right, so he shows up. This guy is a complete nutcase. He needs to start LARPing. Stop LARPing as a Muslim candidate. No real Muslim would compare male circumcision, something religiously required, with sex change surgery for children, something Islam considers a horrific abomination. So the Muslims are coming after him for supporting transgenders. This guy's amazing. He's amazing. So one of the big shocks is it turns out more than a dozen of the donors to this guy, Dan Blazarian, all right, based right-wing guy who supports Hitler and wants to kill Jews and stuff, turns out he has the same supporters as this guy, Abdul El-Sayed. It seems like the people that are propagating a lot of this like bullshit are, largely speaking, Pakistani Muslims. Now, the truth is, it is very clearly the fact that we are dealing with a major foreign issue in our nation, and that is foreign money coming in and subverting us, funding our colleges, funding our politicians on all sides of the spectrum as much as you possibly can. And it is pretty wild to see, actually. And it is insane that it also doesn't take any shape. Now, and I think it's just as evil, you're going to hate this, as AIPAC. Because AIPAC, they fund right-wing people and left-wing people based on their support to Israel. And I think that shit sucks because obviously that is not in the best interest of our nation. The same way these Pakistani donors, they'll fund right-wing people and left-wing people purely based on if they support Islamic terrorism, right? And this shit is absolutely insane. It's crazy that we need to live in a nation where foreign nations have some sort of ability to dictate our political processes. It's ridiculous that we're not actually clamping down on this. Now, the Donald had this to say, and this is the true nail in the coffin. The Donald wants to ban Sharia law in America.
We have so many enemies, I feel, like inside our own gates. We have the DSA, and we have Islam, the Red-Green Alliance, something I put up on the chalkboard when I was at Fox, and I said, this is going to happen, and everybody said that. They'll never work together, and that's exactly what's happening. Would you push for or sign a no Sharia law act for America? And when it comes to the Marxists, what advice do you have for the GOP to begin to relate to the people who feel like there is an affordability crisis in America, especially for the youth, and the Marxists are playing on that and exploiting all of that?
Yeah.
What advice do you have?
Yeah, I would say two things. Number one, on Sharia law, I would absolutely say that's not this country. It's no Sharia law. And you do have
no Sharia law. That's not our country.
Pockets of it, as you know. I would say no. And you go to London, you go to Paris, it's almost like a second way of life.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
And I would absolutely be on your side on that, or on a lot of other people's side, too. Because, you know, you and I have people that I think we're more based on common sense than we are on ideology. It's all about good politics is all about common sense anyway. But I would absolutely prohibit the Sharia law thing, and it is happening in this country a little bit. And where we see it, we take it out, and you have to take it out. You have one system. We have a great system. Sometimes
the Donald knows what's up.
Very frustrating, but it's the best there is that I can see.
That's my president, by the way. I voted for that guy. Operation Let Them Speak. And Hasan Piker goes out there and is like, American Jews need to be scared. And then Abdul El-Sayed goes out there on Fox News and is like, Circumcisions is just like child castration. Like, bro, these guys, again, their 80 IQ grift, and that's being generous, is not working on a national scale. Yes, they all got the dysgenic communist freaks that hate America on their side, but we are going to see possibly a really funny clampdown on this shit. And I will be there eating popcorn at the front row. And you're more than welcome to join me on that ride. Definitely subscribe. And if you want to support me on Patreon, where I do deep dives on the Quran every single week, you absolutely should. Now for the definitive woman annihilation video of the century. I promised it was coming, and we are here. What you are about to see is something that should be shared to the masses, because mass psychosis is here, because we are living in an environment where, for whatever reason, whatever nefarious actors are at play, they have figured out a way to hack the minds of women in the West, to control them, to give them psychosis, to manipulate them, to have empathy for the aliens, and to have literally animosity for their protectors, to hate their husbands, to hate men, to abort and murder their babies. You are about to witness the ultimate video. All right, I have prepared long and hard for this one, and I don't think I've shown any of these clips before. So first and foremost, this is a woman. I know, it's shocking, but after you hear her talk, you'll believe me. On a show discussing the Lindsay Clancy trial, how Lindsay Clancy murdered her own children, and how all the women are running to defend her. All right, so this is pretty diabolical.
They should be commended because they did. I've had it with you. Oh my God! They should be commended. They didn't kill their children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering. These are man-hating women that are standing outside. This is what it's about. They think the husband did it. They're crazy. They've lost their mind.
Do you know why
they're waving for a murderer?
Do you know why the woman is in a wheelchair? Did you even notice that she's?
Couldn't care less. She's a murderer.
Because she jumped out the window.
Don't care.
They say that Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. You know, this was a incredibly privileged woman, incredibly wealthy. She had.
Dude, look at the eyes! The demons are trying to escape!
A nanny, and she's still complaining that she needed help.
Oh, imagine still voting for women, man. Tisk, tisk. That was a joke.
She could not have got more help from the system.
Definitely go to my Patreon if you want to see a full deep dive on women, should they have rights. But that was also a joke. That wasn't a joke. That's really on Patreon.
That she already have received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away and she chased him down and killed him.
Hyperventilating. No, he's insulting a woman. But she's a woman, so she must be the victim.
Rory Watkins. What you just said was absolutely disgusting.
Thank you.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Thank you.
And you can hear that he's not. Okay?
Why? Because it's true.
You clearly don't care, so pipe down.
I don't care. And by the way, men watching this, if you have a woman sat next to you on the sofa who is defending this murderer, you got to think deeply about this. I've seen weddings.
So we need to have some empathy.
Talk to your women and find out.
Yeah, empathy. Yes, woman. Have empathy for your children that you don't abort, okay? Raise them well. We don't have empathy for murderers here.
What are they thinking? They're defending this woman. It's
I don't think anybody's defending what she did, but you can have empathy for what she went through and how she... I know many women that this has happened to. No, they...
She murdered her own children.
Did not kill their children, but they also, what you failed to mention.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Congratulations, women. You did not kill your children. You deserve a treat. A Scooby snack for you for not killing your children, women. W women that didn't kill their children. This is the bar, by the way. This is the bar. The bar is, well, she didn't murder her children. All right, W. Anyway, so this is incredible. We might be getting, I might be collabing with this guy very soon, by the way. More on that another time. We're just going to, like, make believe that we're just rolling right past that. Anyway, so I have collected for you the greatest clips of all time. This is Lindsay Clancy's defense attorney, Kevin Reddington, dismissing theories that Patrick Clancy killed the children. So all of these ravenous wine mom losers surrounded the lawyer of Lindsay Clancy to say, oh my God, we know the truth, that it was actually the husband.
Sir, any comment on rumors regarding Patrick?
No, I don't deal in rumors.
Sir, you don't think there's any credibility to the theories about Patrick that are being circulated by some of these women?
I got enough to worry about Lindsay right now without worrying about rumors with Patrick. So I'm going to defer on that.
Yeah. He didn't even tell him he was a Gemini man, by the way. All right, now, all these clips that I'm about to show you are new, so you might remember her. This is a lady that poured hot wax on her children following the Lindsay Clancy trend. She went to jail, and it turns out, guess what? She is an illegal alien from Cuba. Are you surprised? Are you surprised that this is just the case every single time? This is an OBGYN who has 3 children stating that she is proud of Lindsay Clancy.
Hi, Lindsay.
I am making this video because the world needs to know that our women have been mind raped. Okay? I want to make that clear.
I'm Dr. Sterling. I don't even know.
To do what needs to be done, a lot of these women are going to be very unhappy in the short term, but they will thank us for generations.
If you're allowed to watch videos like this, if someone can show it to you, I don't know. But I want you to know that I believe you. From my perspective as an OBGYN, I believe that you were over-functioning throughout your entire postpartum period.
She murdered her own children, by the way.
I'm blown away by how hard you were working to get better, while also working as a mom. I've got 3 kids. I know how much work it is, even when you are mentally well. It's so hard to take care of 3 kids. Obviously,
she didn't. She murdered them, actually, which is the opposite of taking care of them. Also, she had a nanny.
Hindsight's 2020, but I don't know what else you could have done. You were
I know. She could have not murdered her children.
Far beyond what should be expected of a single individual.
No, she didn't do beyond what could be expected, actually. I would go as far as to say is she did the opposite of what was expected of a mom. You know, murdering her children.
Galvanized us women in a really powerful way. And I'm not quite ready to tell my story yet. But when I eventually...
Did you murder your children?
...do, it's going to be because you came first.
She murdered her own children.
And you showed all of us that we can be honest and we can be real.
You showed us we can be honest by murdering your own children.
About what we experience as mothers. So thank you. And, you know, I hope that you're seeing our support.
Why? Why would you hope that? This is a doctor.
Because we believe you.
I mean, the glasses were a dead giveaway. She's obviously a little cuckoo up there. But, like, bro, we need to lobotomize these people.
And we are proud of how hard you advocated and how hard you tried for yourself.
We are not proud. You didn't advocate for anything.
And we know you miss those babies every day.
I don't care about how she feels about anything. Well, she needs a firing squad. She needs to get publicly decapitated, okay? What are we even doing here? As a society, bro, you need men to take care of you. That's what you need. You need a strong man in your life to take care of you. That's what you need. You need to not have a job necessarily if you can't juggle it. If you can juggle it, that's great. If you can't juggle it, then don't. You should be at home with a husband that takes care of you and you raise your kids and, you know, dedicate your life to giving them a good life. These people are nutso. In fact, it gets worse. That's right. This is the video. So this is what they're openly admitting. And this is insane.
Every one of us that have roots that go back to the Salem witch trials, we are freeing our ancestral bloodline by coming together for Lindsay Clancy. That's why that shit is happening in Massachusetts. It's happening right near Salem. We are coming together and not letting our sister go down for a crime she didn't commit. And
she murdered her own children.
If somehow it was possible, which it's not.
What you're basically saying is that the witch trials were justified, and we should be burning more of you at the stake. That's what you're saying.
It's literally not possible. The timeline isn't possible.
It is possible.
To create hypothermia, even if it was.
She was in the snow.
Possible, we are still coming together in love and support for that woman.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Also, nice AI filter smoothing out your skin. Meanwhile, your chest is like literal fucking. It looks like a Mario Kart like off-course racetrack over down there. Anyway, it gets better and better. By the way, all right. So they all act like they knew Patrick personally here.
I don't believe Patrick did anything for Lindsay. I think.
Who the fuck are you?
Lindsay did it all herself.
Who are you?
I don't think he was a good father. I don't think he was a good husband.
Look how easy it is to emotionally manipulate these people.
I think he was verbally and emotionally, mentally abusive.
Yeah, I don't care, actually, because she murdered her own children.
I believe that's why every time Lindsay would give birth, she would have a little postpartum depression, anxiety.
If postpartum depression is a reason to kill your kids, then getting horny is a reason to rape people. Your Honor, I know I raped her. However, I was horny. I was horny, Your Honor, in my defense.
Leaving Patrick with the children because of the incident when Cora was 6 months old. The lack of help, lack of care, lack of love, lack of emotion.
All irrelevant.
Lack of...
He could have been the biggest piece of shit of all time, which, by the way, she has no evidence for, but he could have been the biggest piece of shit of all time. She murdered her own children, and they should execute her now.
Emotional stability. I think Lindsay was afraid of Patrick. I think Patrick would get...
I have too much testosterone. I just had to rape him.
Irritated.
All men need to come together.
With the kids all the time.
They know what it's like to have a lot of testosterone and rape people.
And she was afraid.
She has like that tectone hairline while she says all that shit.
She was afraid of Patrick, and that's why she always said...
She murdered her own children, by the way.
I need to call my mom. I don't...
These bitches should not be driving or voting.
Feel safe. She said she wanted to sleep with her mom. Why didn't she want to sleep with her husband? Why didn't she feel safe with her husband?
I don't know, but she murdered her own children.
Patrick's guilty. Lindsay's innocent. Have a good day.
Okay. they don't live in reality. Isn't that incredible? The Candace Owens cult. The candy cult. Literally. The Candunces. Cantifa over here. It's crazy. All right, now they're also pushing the reparation thing. So we are going to have to learn as a society that sometimes you're going to have to tell women no.
40 acres and a mule, we're past that now, y'all. It's 2026, so we need cash. We need our reparations in cash. No, we're not giving it to the government to do nothing with the programs or nothing like that. Like one of these senators, I forgot what, I think it was the senator of South Carolina, who was out here saying, oh, we need to give, the only way we can do reparations is by giving it to the
Get a fucking job. Marry someone that actually doesn't leave you or go to jail, okay?
County.
What are we doing here? Swamp hags coming out of the woodwork telling me how I need to pay for their shit.
And we're going to no, we're not playing with y'all, because we already know that y'all, we're not playing with that no more. We want our reparations directly. We want it directly in our account.
Yeah, but we don't care. Anyway, it's literally, they don't even understand the idea that I could just not care. Right? Not caring is a superpower to these people because they think you have to care about everything ever. Right? They think I have to care about Palestine that started a war and lost. Or they think I have to care about all this shit. Just say you broke. Oh my God. Oh my God. Every woman who has their mental health weaponized against them, cracking watching Lindsay Clancy trial. She murdered her own children, by the way, let me remind you. And again, understand, anything but accountability. At worst, he murdered his children, tried to murder his wife and failed, and then tried to frame her. At best, he ignored her as she repeatedly asked for help. She murdered her own children, though. That's like the other little tiny added thing in there. All right, now let's talk about the patriarchy a little bit.
Hey, good morning. Just a reminder, men are not superior than women. In any way.
Well, physically, we are. Objectively.
Maybe physically,
but... so that means we could put you in cages if we wanted to. And the reason why you're not in cages is because of men's benevolence. I know that sounds rude to say, but I'm not saying that we should put you in cages. I'm saying that we could put you in cages. And the fact that we're not doing that is because we're nice. I just want to make that very clear.
Who cares? We don't have to fight dinosaurs anymore.
But you might have to fight us. I'm just saying, by the way, also clearly you people are easily emotionally manipulated. I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say? What are we doing? There's more.
Do you guys know by the year 2030, 45% of women ages 25 to 44 will be single without children?
Yeah. Women, you have to fix your shit, because that's pretty bad.
Because of how the world's going.
Nope. Maybe it's because of how you are going. Maybe it's because y'all are insufferable right now. If you look at the graphs of how men are veering to the right and women are absolutely dropping off a cliff to the left, maybe that's part of it.
Do you guys know?
It's incredible. Zero accountability from any of these people. The woman that murdered her children can't possibly be the bad guy. When my husband finally learns to say, no one is as tired as you, sweetheart, instead of, I'm tired too, since I'm the one who is postpartum. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Get trained like a dog. Trained like a dog. That's it, baby. Bro, I'm just saying, man. The biggest white people L ever was the fact that white people just can't control their wives. I don't know what I'm saying. White people can't control their women. What are we doing?
The women who support Patrick Clancy and who are totally against Lindsay and think she's a monster are male-centered and given to red pill rhetoric bullshit, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise.
It's red pill rhetoric if you don't want women to murder their own children if they get a little sad.
Guys, you can argue with the fucking wall because you will not change my fucking opinion on this.
All right, how about this one? Ever heard of a brush? Got him.
Those of us who have ever dealt with a narcissist
Septum piercing. Interesting.
or been in a domestic violence
Someone took a battery and attached it to her septum piercing.
relationship can see right fucking through him. Like,
And you see that tattoo? I don't know if you could read it. It's very faint, but it says, "I have no dad. Bet you wouldn't be able to tell." That's what it says on her chest. You probably can't read it because it's a little blurry.
the evidence is insane that it wasn't fucking her. She did not kill those
There is no evidence that it wasn't her. It was her. We all know it was her. She admitted it. The court admitted it. She literally strangled them. It was her. It was her. But these people have the ability to believe the unbelievable. This is the level of psyop. I'm actually shocked that this is happening on such a public scale. The psyop is the 404 error, dad not found. The fact that these people are not believing, like literally not believing what's in front of them, instead believing the unbelievable. You know, our word's razor instead of Occam's razor. Like, these people are insane. Believe all women except when they literally admit they murdered their own children.
kids, and she did not try herself. And nobody will ever convince me otherwise.
Again, no one will convince her. It doesn't even matter. She's 0%, just like Candace Owens is 0% that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. She is 0%. That's it. You will never convince this person, ever, no matter how hard you try. Like, this is the level of psyop that we're dealing with in society.
You pick-me's out here breaking rank. Shame on you.
You're a pick-me if you're against a woman that murdered her own children.
It is always us against the men. Dare you. Go
I love how they were just conditioned to hate men.
rot with the rest of them. We don't even want you. You pick me.
So awesome, dude. So freaking awesome. It's so freaking awesome. All right. Anyway, it keeps getting better.
Friendly reminder that women can do everything men can do. Men cannot do everything women can do, and that is why religion exists.
Yeah, men could piss their name in the snow. Women cannot. Anyway, when there's shit stuck to the side of the toilet, we have power washers. We can clean that shit off. You cannot. Also, we're stronger than you, and we could put you in cages if we wanted to. We're not doing that, to be clear, because we're very nice. But that's why we're not doing it, because we're very nice. Also, we have the ability to shut the fuck up sometimes. You don't seem to have that superpower. All right, at the cemetery wearing pink, telling the ghosts what Patrick did. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy how they all look like this, too. Isn't this incredible? It's incredible. Literally incredible. Goyim, can you control your women, please? Goyim, control your women. All right. Isn't communing with the dead literally a sin punishable by death in the Bible? Interesting. Probably a coincidence. Anyway, bro, it's crazy. Anyway, the astrology women are going crazy because this is a real thing, too.
I learned that the lawyer in this Clancy trial is an Aquarius, and now this is the most Saturn thing I have seen in a long time. You know, he's in his 70s and he's making the biggest career move of his life and gaining worldwide attention on him. And you can tell how many years he has put into this hard work, discipline, and care for his client.
Woman, if you're going to dress like a cow, you should sound like one. All right, I want you to be going on TikTok going, "Mmm." That's it. That's what I want to hear from you. That's it. That's it. Otherwise, you shouldn't do the cosplay.
And
it ruins the whole
well
thing.
He does his job. This is why we say Saturn is delayed gratification.
Yeah, we don't actually say that. Did you know that the lawyer is an Aquarius? This is going to shock you, but you know why I agree with the lawyer that wants to put Lindsay Clancy away forever? I'm also an Aquarius. Fuck, can't trust me. Can't trust me anymore. Psych, I'm a Virgo. Oh, man, I got you. I got you. You thought I was an Aquarius, but I would lie, which is a total Virgo thing to say. Holy shit, that was too easy. Psych, I'm actually an Aquarius. Aquariuses do the double bluff. That's right. You probably knew that because I'm a Scorpio. Anyway, it keeps getting better. Obviously, I feel like it's really important. So the matriarchy protects the vulnerable, which is why they murder children now. That's right. That's right. Also, all the ladies of TikTok tell Patrick Clancy, when you F with one of us, you F with all of us. The matriarchy always protects the vulnerable. They are literally defending a mother who murdered her own children. They are literally defending a mother who murdered their own children. These women have matriarchal, they have maternal instincts baked into them, which is a superpower. Literally, a God-given superpower. These people have maternal instincts, and because society teaches them that they should abort their babies and castrate children and embrace the dipshits across the world, they had their matriarchal maternal instincts turned against them. Literally turned against them. So that they need to be mothers to every nutball, dipshit, and cannibal on the internet. Like, it's actually wild to watch this happen. Bro, women without religion for 5 seconds. Women without a strong male in their life for 5 seconds. Lindsay Clancy strangled her 3 kids to death. These are the feminists in the court. Is that not insane? It's absolute insanity. These are freaks. These are freaks and demons. These are goblins. These are goblins. All right? There's more.
She looks at you get home. She looks at you and says, oh, the kids are in the basement? No, that's not how that works.
So,
her Apple Watch charger was off. There was footprints found in her bedroom, and she was wearing socks. Tell me how that adds up. Her
Are we serious? Dear God.
body temperature being 82 degrees when it's supposed to be 96.8.
She was in the snow.
That is literally...
She was also outside in the snow, though.
It doesn't matter.
She could have got cold.
For 5 minutes. If that
Probably.
last baby was able to be resuscitated, it's like taking an ice bath. When I go and take an ice bath, does my body temperature drop to 82
I don't
degrees?
know.
No, it doesn't.
But, so you're telling me, Lindsay...
All these wine moms. It's insane. It's insane. Bro, you know the best way to convince women that they shouldn't have the right to vote anymore? You just tell them that don't worry. All of your friends won't have the right to vote either. That was a joke. I would never say that women shouldn't have the right to vote. You should watch my video on Patreon to see if we should take away their rights.
Clancy did not kill her kids.
I would die on that hill. And you know what? When this case gets solved, I promise you I'll laugh in your face.
I'm scared.
Yeah, dump her immediately. Run the frick away. Run away. Run away from these people. These people are in a cult. Right? In fact, there is an entire trend of postpartum women trying to gain sympathy from other people online. Now, by the way, the biggest red flag for women, in my opinion, is if they're posting shit on social media about their personal lives. I think that's a red flag because it's like you want attention way too badly. All right, I think that's a red flag in general. So the postpartum trend got even crazier somehow.
You know the postpartum intrusive thoughts are getting bad when you're baby wearing and you walk past one of these tree chopping, terrifying devices. And you imagine yourself like tripping and the baby shooting out of my carrier and flying into the tree chopper when it's on. Just me or anyone else?
That's insane. I love how she literally is wearing the pedophile hat too. Like, you cannot make this up. These are not normal people. This is not normal. These are psychos. And because now there's this trend, they're all doing it. They're all on the same side because the girl bosses stick together. That's right, baby. The girl bosses stick together. Did she say what I think she did? It's shocking. I know. It's shocking. All right, anyway. So this is a woman on the verge of strangling a toddler for spilling coffee on the floor. Get ready for this. Right, the coffee fell on the floor. What the fuck is going on here? She waits for instruction, and once I finish cleaning up, we reconnect, and she knows she's welcome back into the space. Like, this is crazy, by the way. This is psycho shit. But are you ready for the real psycho shit? Not only is this crazy. Oh, no. You're not ready for what you're about to hear. But when I tell you what I am about to say, I feel like that is going to be the bow, the cherry on top of this glorious video that everyone needs to see. Because we are literally witnessing, like, social mind rape of an entire generation. Okay? What you're about to hear is going to blow your mind completely. She set up the camera. And she posted this online. Okay? That's the cream of the pie. The cream of the pie is the fact that not only was she here getting really mad and threatening to strangle her child and get really super mad because she spilled something. But it's that she filmed it and then she posted it online. Okay? She posted this shit online. She know the women would support her for this. She would get support. She edited it. She added subtitles to explain what she did. In fact, I would argue she probably told the kids to spill the coffee so she can get a viral video. Because that is how desperate these attention whores are. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This, of course, is all staged for the camera. The child doesn't understand that it's fake or why mommy is pretending she's about to have a nervous breakdown over a little bit of liquid spilling on an uncarpeted floor. Meanwhile, the whole point of this fake scenario is for the woman to brag about the fact that she didn't hit her daughter or scream at her for a minor accident. Multiple levels of narcissism and dysfunction in this video. This entire genre. These women are unfit and immature on a pathological degree. I grieve for their children. It is unbelievable. We are witnessing a generation of children, a generation of takers. No one is a giver anymore. No one. We don't have givers in society. And society is literally celebrating the takers. And that is, it's cancer. It's actual cancer. And it's destroying our entire civilization. And instead of telling no to people when they should hear no, we should give them all their rights. We should give them rights. Now, human rights aren't a real thing, by the way. To be clear. But we may believe they are a real thing, so we can give them to people. We should, of course, welcome all these asylum seekers into our country, because it would be better for them. Of course, we should tell them that men and women are equal, because, of course, they'll feel so much better about themselves. We should lie to them about the reality of the world in every possible conceivable way, so that things are just nicer. Well, Asmongold decided to drop a nuke on this.
It's going to take a long time to change everything. But in time, we're gonna bring back the patriarchy. We're going to bring it back all the way.
So the thing is, it's back because ultimately men still wield force. There's no such thing as a matriarchal society because men are stronger than women. So ultimately, it's still a patriarchy. It's just gay men. All right. This is a take I have that a lot of people don't agree with. Ultimately, it comes down to if the men are givers or takers, if the men are men or if the men are women. That's what it comes down to at the very end of the day, in my opinion. And we are living in a generation of womanly men.
Like, it's going to be the whole thing. Like, and everything, by the way, men are going to be better off. Women are going to be better off. Society is going to be better off. Kids are going to be better off. Dogs, believe it or not, are going to be better off.
Bro.
Everybody and everything is going to be better. But it's going to take a long time.
Oh, yeah. But it'll happen. You know what they say? Good times create weak men create strong women create hard times create strong men. Well, we're almost there. The truth of the matter is we are living in a generation, in my opinion, we are living in a generation of weak men. And the weak men have allowed these people to take over. The weak men have allowed the demons and the goblins to gain forces over our nation. I'm not talking about women. I think these women are largely subject to a generational mind rape, and they have fallen for the slopaganda. Obviously, they have free will. Obviously, they can make decisions. Obviously, this isn't even all women. It's mostly liberal women because they don't actually believe in anything. Conservative women, for the most part, they actually have a belief system. They believe in God. They believe in a patriarchal society. They believe in a higher power. But the liberal women that believe in nothing are just completely and utterly subject to the infinite mind rape of a generation. And this is what happens. This is exactly where we are. A gigantic, massive cesspool of ego and narcissism, and this is how it shows itself in whamming. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Share the video to everybody. The world needs to know what's going on. There's so much of the world that doesn't want to believe things that are uncomfortable. Right? People don't want to believe that, let's say, certain cultures are more violent than others. Certain religions are more diabolical than others. Certain countries literally traffic children, and it's part of their culture. And some cultures literally have cum warriors that fight on behalf of their ancestors by being raped by the entire village elders to imbue them with the semen of the forefathers so the semen warriors could fight with each other to the death, which they do today in Papua New Guinea still. The truth of the matter is, the reality is, sometimes this shit's uncomfortable. Some cultures are better, some are worse, some people are smarter, some people are stupider. IQ is obviously related to your genes. This is not up for debate, even though everyone wants to make believe it is. And the truth of the matter is, the reality is, people are objectively different. Patterns do emerge in different groups. This has always been true in everything, in all the animal kingdom, and of course in mankind as well. A lot of people prefer a comfortable lie to an uncomfortable truth, and we are living in a generation where finally, under Trump, we're able to say things, not that many things. I'm fully demonetized on YouTube. If you want to support me, you can on Patreon. That'd be awesome. Also, I live stream on Kick and on Rumble. If you could support me there, that would also be awesome. I'm fully demonetized here because I say things like this. But the truth is, I prefer the uncomfortable truths to the comfortable lies, because ultimately, one is the way of God, and the other is the way of the devil. And I'm going to back the right horse. So this video is data. It's literal data. It's example after example of exactly what I am saying. And if you don't like the conclusion I came to, the fact that men and women are biologically different, the fact that women, largely women that don't actually have a belief system, are easier to manipulate their maternal instincts and their empath centers and stuff like that, and their emotions and things like that. If you don't believe that that is a reasonable explanation for what's going on, the fact that they don't have a, father figure in their life, a strong husband that is going to take care of them and support them, if you don't believe that system, then you have to find some sort of plausible explanation for the mass hysteria that we are witnessing right now, as millions of women, white women largely, on the internet are supporting a woman that murdered her own children. You're going to have to explain that to yourself. Otherwise, you are going to be living in an existence where you know you're living a lie, and you need to figure out what the truth is. And you need to find God. Anyway, thank you for your attention to this matter. I hope you enjoyed. I feel like this was a banger. I mean, we know why YouTube demonetizes me. It's because I do change minds. All right? I'm sorry. I know it's true. I've gotten so many comments, emails, messages, people talking to me, even in my real life, not YouTube world. People are like, hey, I was watching your videos, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, actually, it turns out it's crazy. Now, the real truth, Nuke, is the fact that, and a lot of people say to me, Nux, no, how did you make you feel that people consider you the funny guy? The people consider you the funny guy. They don't actually consider you like a serious political commentator. I don't care, actually. I think you misunderstand what I am doing here. I am having a good time. I'm an entertainer first and foremost. And I do believe, very much so, that a lot of people, I think, are much more receptive to comedy and humor in general than receptive to infinite documentary-style bullshit that can be treated as lies. I'm asking the questions, and I want you to have the answers. And yes, dude, people are telling me to show this clip. All right, every time someone talks about me online, it's something like this. And I appreciate it, don't get me wrong.
That's Pakistan. Yo, David, on Nuxanor last stream, he had a question about Christianity and said he'd like some good apologists to explain it to him and gave you as an example. Oh, nice. Yeah, Nuxanor can join us sometime. That dude's hilarious.
Again, I love being the hilarious dude.
Hilarious, and his reactions are hilarious. D. Wood, why are you still on the floor? Has your desk not recovered?
Yeah, again, I am honored as shit to be called the hilarious dude. I know that Andrew Wilson also said I was like the hilarious dude, which again is very awesome. But the truth is, you have to start asking yourselves why sometimes I'm right ahead of time. Why is it that a lot of my hot takes about Hasan and society and women and stuff like that, why are they just 6 months before Asmongold has the same conclusion as me, for example? You have to wonder. I have a cheat code, actually. I didn't actually say this before, but I feel like it's important to say this, just like as a little outro at the end of a Nuxanor video that no one will see. No one needs to see this. I have a cheat code, actually. The Bible is just right about everything. I have full and utter confidence that the Bible is correct about everything that it says. Literally, its structure for society, its political discussions, the way it understands the psychology of men and women and nations and warfare and stuff like that. And because of that cheat code, I know the end result before I need to actually work the steps out. And the crazy part is, 3,000 years later, and the Bible is still right about everything. All right, we are coming up with our enlightenment and our brilliance and our mind blasts, our incredible, awesome giga-chad analysis and science and psychology and evolution and all of our understandings of the human mind and the world around us. And every system that we create is worse than the system that God came up with 3,000 years ago. If that doesn't make you ask some questions like maybe God's actually right about everything, then you need to give me a pretty good freaking alternative as to why it really seems like God was right about everything. Thank you for your attention to this matter. God is good. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, who went out there, spread the gospel, and they killed him for it. And we all really, at the very, very core, we all know why they killed him.